It started with lights, not just any lights, glowing, darting orbs that danced over the empty desert sky like fiery ghosts. The year was 1978, and the small town of Dry Creek, nestled on the edge of the vast Mojave Desert, was about to become the stage for a mystery no one wanted to believe. No one who saw those lights could explain them. Sheriff Tom Harding was the first official to report it. "I thought my eyes were playing tricks," he confessed years later. But those lights, they weren't airplanes, they weren't stars. They were something else entirely. On that dry summer night, something changed in Dry Creek, something that left its mark on everyone who witnessed it. Phantom lights were spotted not just by townsfolk, but by travelers passing through on the old highway. The local diner's waitress, Linda, described them as like fireflies on steroids, but bigger. They zipped across the sky with no sound at all. Yet despite dozens of eyewitness accounts, no one could prove what those lights really were, until days later when a strange object was found half buried in the sand. That find sparked a chain of events that tore Dry Creek apart. People who saw too much suddenly vanished. Official reports dismissed the phenomenon as weather balloons or hallucinations caused by heat, but the truth was far stranger and far darker than anyone imagined. For nearly half a century, the tale of the phantom lights of Dry Creek was written off as folklore or government cover-up. But now, thanks to newly uncovered documents, personal diaries, and shocking eyewitness revelations, the story is finally being told. And it all starts with one summer night when the desert sky lit up with mysterious, unexplainable lights. What did Tom Harding see that night? Why did his official report disappear? And who was the stranger that showed up days later, warning the town to forget what they had witnessed? For those who lived it, for those who watched in silence, the truth about the 1978 UFO incident is more real and terrifying than ever before. The desert may be silent now, but the phantom lights never really left. Few believed when the story first broke. Most called it nonsense, fueled by small-town rumors and too many late nights spent looking up at stars. But there were photographs, blurred, grainy images captured by a lone photographer who never came forward until decades later. The lights in those photos didn't match any known aircraft or natural phenomenon. In the days after the sightings, the military showed up. Unmarked helicopters circled overhead. Local law enforcement was tight-lipped. Witnesses said equipment was confiscated, and interviews were conducted in hushed tones behind closed doors. The message was clear: stop asking questions. One of the most chilling parts of this mystery is the disappearance of Jane Miller, a young woman who claimed to have filmed the most vivid footage of the lights. On the evening she was supposed to hand over her film for investigation, she vanished without a trace. Her family's desperate search yielded nothing but silence. The desert keeps its secrets well. But recently, a retired Air Force officer came forward with his own account, an admission that sent shockwaves through the community. "We were told to classify what happened as a training exercise," he revealed. But that wasn't the truth. Something out there didn't belong. As old as this story is, the echoes of those phantom lights still haunt Dry Creek. New witnesses, locals who kept their silence for decades, are stepping forward to share what they saw and what they were told to forget. This is a story about truth buried beneath sand and secrets smothered by silence. It's about a night when the impossible seemed real, and a desert forever changed by lights that defied explanation. And it's just the beginning. The night the phantom lights first appeared over Dry Creek wasn't just unusual. It was the start of something no one in town could ignore. People who witnessed the glowing orbs describe a silent ballet of eerie illumination, swift and deliberate, cutting through the desert sky like nothing natural. Sheriff Tom Harding's disbelief soon turned into concern as reports poured in from neighbors, truckers, and even travelers passing along Highway 95. Everyone spoke of the same strange dance above the horizon, but trying to explain those lights was impossible. No meteor shower, no satellites, no known aircraft traveled that slow or moved that erratically. When the sun rose, the town buzzed with whispers and questions, but the answers were nowhere to be found. Then, like a shadow descending over Dry Creek, the government intervened. Black helicopters appeared the very next day, circling with a cold precision that unsettled even the bravest locals. Military personnel went door to door, asking questions with a tone that brooked no argument. Cameras and newspaper clippings disappeared, stories were dismissed with wave hand gestures, and anyone who dared speak too freely found themselves silenced by warnings. Among those who witnessed the lights was Jane Miller, a young aspiring filmmaker armed with only her 8mm camera and a determined spirit. Her footage, said to show the lights in their most vivid and unearthly forms, was the first real proof anyone hoped to produce. But before she could share it, Jane vanished, her disappearance swallowed by the unforgiving desert sun just days after the sightings. Her family searched desperately, but no trace ever surfaced, and soon her story was relegated to rumor and quiet fear. Decades later, a forgotten box of film reels and diaries was uncovered in an abandoned house on the edge of town, revealing cryptic entries from Jane's last days. Fragments of secrets, fear, and warnings she recorded but never lived to reveal. These relics breathed new life into the story, sparking interest among researchers and locals who longed for the truth. At the same time, an anonymous whistleblower, a retired Air Force officer who had sworn never to speak, broke his silence. His confession was chilling. The lights were no mere weather balloons or natural phenomena, but something far beyond human understanding. His wording, cautious and measured, suggested a classified encounter that the military had buried under layers of denial and disinformation. His revelations cast long shadows over official records, exposing inconsistencies in military reports and stirring deep mistrust among Dry Creek's inhabitants. More startling were the accounts from those who lived through the event but had never spoken publicly. Their memories were painted with fear, not just of the unknown lights, but of the consequences of revealing too much. Threats, harassment, and mysterious visits kept the story locked behind closed doors for years. But time is relentless, and as new witnesses step forward, a mosaic of truths begins to form. The phantom lights, once dismissed as illusions, now demand recognition. Why did the government cover up what happened? What was the object found half buried in the sand, really? And who was the shadowy stranger that warned residents to keep silent, appearing only in the weeks following the sightings? These questions swirl like dust storms in the desert winds, waiting to be answered. Yet the deeper anyone digs, the more they realize this story is about more than unexplained lights. It's about lost people, forgotten promises, and the power of secrets to shape a town's destiny. For those who witnessed the lights that night, life was never the same. Some left, unwilling to carry the weight of knowing. Others stayed, carrying memories like scars they refused to share. But the phantom lights never left Dry Creek. They linger in the whispered stories, in the faded photographs, in the empty spaces where people once stood. Reminders that sometimes the unknown isn't gone. It's just waiting to be found. Years passed, but the mystery refused to fade. The desert held its secrets tightly, and Dry Creek struggled beneath the weight of silence and suspicion. In recent years, independent investigators and amateur ufologists began to piece together fragments long dismissed or hidden away. Among the uncovered materials were faded photographs taken by a local man named Frank Willis, a truck driver who claimed to have witnessed the lights from the back roads and captured them on his Polaroid camera. His images, blurry but unnervingly consistent with descriptions, rekindled interest in the case and hinted at a bizarre pattern to the phenomenon, one that seemed to track movements across the desert in tactical, almost intelligent ways. Meanwhile, descendants of those who lived through the night of August 14, 1978, shared stories passed down quietly in hushed family gatherings. They spoke of eccentric neighbors who changed overnight, spent prolonged nights locked indoors, or vanished mysteriously, only to return years later with strange tales of trembling stars and voices carried by the wind. A small group of old-timers gathered monthly at Mary's Cafe, the diner that had stood since the town's founding, sharing whispers of the lights, even though the younger generation scoffed or ignored their warnings. One night, this group was joined by a man who claimed to have been part of a secret government task force sent to investigate the incident covertly. His name was Robert Hale, and his testimony was both riveting and deeply troubling. Hale spoke of an object found buried partially in the desert sand, a metallic form unlike anything human engineers had ever designed. Despite attempts to study it, the material resisted analysis, baffling even the military's top scientists. He revealed visits to Dry Creek where he met wary townsfolk and encountered acts of intimidation meant to seal lips and erase memories. His words echoed fears that those phantom lights were not innocent natural occurrences, but signs of something otherworldly with intentions no one fully understood. As Hale recounted the forces that sought to bury the truth, he urged the community not to forget what happened and to continue seeking answers. But even as he spoke, shadowy figures watching from afar seemed to tighten their grip on the town's secrets. Alongside Robert Hale's revelations, intriguing new evidence emerged from an unexpected source, a retired postal worker named Helen Garcia. In her dusty attic, Helen discovered letters and diaries belonging to her late brother, an amateur radio operator who claimed to have intercepted mysterious coded transmissions on the night of the sightings. These recordings, preserved on old reel-to-reel tapes, contain strange pulsing signals, unlike anything from civilian broadcasts or military exercises. Experts who examined the tapes noted distinctive patterns that suggested an intelligent origin, raising the chilling possibility that the phantom lights were accompanied by communications from beyond our world. The tapes reignited debates among researchers, conspiracy theorists, and skeptics alike. Though skeptics dismissed the findings as hoaxes or misinterpretations, the sheer number of converging pieces began to challenge long-held dismissals. For Dry Creek, the event remained more than a historical curiosity. It was a wound that shaped lives and divided families. The government's denials, the disappearances, and the veiled threats cast a shadow extending far beyond that summer in 1978. Today, the legacy of the Phantom Lights lives on in the hearts of those who dare to remember, in the stories passed across generations, and in the relentless pursuit of a truth that refuses to be buried beneath the shifting sands. The question remains, what really flew over Dry Creek that night? And is the desert still alive with secrets waiting to be uncovered? The deeper the investigation went, the more Dry Creek's veil of secrecy began to lift, revealing a tangled web of fear, silence, and unexplainable phenomena that defied logic. In the aftermath of the initial sighting and government intervention, a pattern of strange events unfolded that many believe are linked to that fateful night. Suddenly, technology in the town began to malfunction inexplicably. Radios emitted strange bursts of static, telephones rang with no one on the line, and household appliances acted on their own. Residents described shadows moving in the corners of their eyes, whispers on the wind, and an overwhelming feeling of being watched. Old medical records, uncovered years later, hinted at handfuls of unexplained illnesses and nervous breakdowns among locals who claimed to have been close to the event. Some spoke of vivid nightmares, uncontrollable fears, and a collective trauma that no one had dared to acknowledge publicly until decades later. A small group of former military personnel involved in the classified investigations began to surface with testimonials confirming that what happened in Dry Creek was far from an isolated incident. According to their accounts, the desert's phantom lights were part of a series of observed phenomena not only limited to the Southwest, but recorded in multiple top-secret files across the country. A retired communications specialist, Mark Daniels, revealed in an interview that unusual electromagnetic disturbances were detected during the nights surrounding August 14, 1978, suggesting a deliberate attempt at communication or surveillance. What disturbed many was the sheer intensity of these signals, which defied explanation by any known technology. He recounted nights when his instruments went haywire, flickering unpredictably and capturing pulses that seemed to follow a language of their own, coded and complex. Families whose members had military backgrounds recounted stories passed down about training exercises interrupted or redacted, documents shredded or reclassified. The psychological toll was heavy, with many veterans reporting nightmares of unearthly lights and voices abandoned by those sworn to protect them. Meanwhile, researchers who visited Dry Creek faced their own obstacles. Attempts to probe the surrounding desert were met with odd resistance. Vehicles would fail without cause, equipment disappeared, and inexplicable static plagued their devices. Hesitant testimonies from locals told of men in dark suits appearing suddenly, asking pointed questions and enforcing a chilling message. Forget what you saw or there will be consequences. In the midst of this, A remarkable discovery added another layer to the puzzle. Archaeologists called to Dry Creek to survey old Native American ruins nearby, stumbled upon petroglyphs that depicted glowing orbs descending from the sky, alongside figures that resembled creatures unlike anything in natural history. These ancient images seemed eerily consistent with the modern sightings, suggesting that the phenomena could have roots far deeper than contemporary history. The juxtaposition of ancient lore and recent events that opened debates about humanity's long-standing relationship with the unexplained. Was Dry Creek a waypoint, a beacon, or a battleground between known and unknown forces? The mystery attracted not only investigators, but adventurers and thrill seekers, drawn by the allure of uncovering secrets hidden for decades. Yet, many who came left with more questions than answers, haunted by unprovoked chills and inexplicable experiences. The desert's silence contrasted sharply with the turmoil hidden beneath its quiet sands. Some locals remain convinced the phantom lights were a warning, a sign of something greater, perhaps a message humanity was not meant to understand. Others see it as a tragedy of fear and suppression, lives irrevocably changed by events that were buried under official denials. Now, as the 50th anniversary of the 1978 sightings approached, a renewed effort to tell the full story gathered momentum. Documentaries, interviews, and exposés attempted to gather witnesses, unveil classified files, and challenge the widespread disbelief. The hope, to finally bring to light the truth hidden for so long, to give voice to those who lived through a mystery that shaped a town and perhaps the world. The desert still stretches vast and unforgiving, but the phantom lights have etched themselves into the collective memory of Dry Creek forever. The question remains hanging in the dry air. What hovered over that desert sky in 1978? What secrets lie buried beneath the sands, waiting for the day they can no longer be hidden? And who will dare to uncover them before the phantom lights return once more? In the years since the phantom lights first danced over Dry Creek, the line between myth and reality has blurred in ways few could have imagined. What was once whispered among neighbors as fanciful tale or mass hysteria has grown into a complex puzzle of secrets, cover-ups, and personal tragedies that stretch far beyond the desert's edge. For survivors and their families, the lights were never just fleeting phenomena. They were harbingers of life-altering consequences none could escape. Those who dared to remember spoke of nights filled with a heavy silence, shattered only by distant hums and piercing glows coming from the sky. They told of finding strange symbols etched into rocks, paths seemingly scorched into the earth, and unexplained patterns left in disturbed sand. The town's old cemetery holds its own mysteries. Several graves are said to have disturbed earth above them, despite no signs of recent activity. Visitors claim to have felt cold spots and heard soft whispers echoing through the desert night, as if the land itself was trying to speak. Paranormal researchers flocked to Dry Creek after these claims gained traction, drawn by a magnetic pull to the unknown. Equipment picked up signals that defied scientific explanation: fluctuating magnetic fields, bursts of infrared light, and bursts of radiation that inexplicably rose and fell with the desert winds. Some investigators reported sudden, intense headaches and feelings of being watched, phenomena dismissed by skeptics, but profoundly felt by those present. In the midst of these phenomena, a forgotten government document surfaced through a Freedom of Information Act request, revealing a previously undisclosed project named Aurora Shield. The document hinted at experiments conducted near Dry Creek involving advanced electromagnetic technology and classified aerial surveillance, raising questions about what truths the government might have tried to rewrite. This revelation added fuel to suspicions that the phantom lights were not merely extraterrestrial, but possibly linked to human experimentation or secret military technology gone awry. Families affected by the incidents voiced frustration over decades of silence and denial. Many claim they were ignored or dismissed when trying to report unusual experiences, their pain invalidated by official records marked unconfirmed or no evidence found. Yet, despite the obstacles, an undeniable thread connected the stories. Each witness, in their own way, was touched by the unexplained, forced to reconcile with something bigger than themselves. The town of Dry Creek itself began to evolve into a focal point for those unwilling to forget. In the late 2010s, a small museum opened dedicated to the 1978 incident, stocked with artifacts, photographs, and testimonies gathered from locals and researchers alike. Visitors from around the world traveled to see the exhibits, bringing renewed attention and scrutiny to the once forgotten events. Among the newer witnesses were younger residents whose parents never spoke of the events openly, but passed down warnings in coded phrases or silences heavy with meaning. These new perspectives brought fresh energy to the investigation and challenged skeptics to reevaluate what they thought they knew. The phantom lights, once dismissed as mere illusion, are now a symbol, a reminder of how much humanity still does not understand about the universe, and perhaps the dangers of probing too deeply. For Dry Creek, the search for answers is far from over. The past continues to shape the present, weaving through the lives of those who lived it and those curious enough to want to know. The desert's secrets wait patiently, like buried treasure guarded by its harsh landscape, and the quiet refusal of the sky to reveal all it has seen. With each retelling, new pieces surface, forgotten letters, hidden photographs, faint recordings capturing moments of terror and wonder. The story of the phantom lights is not just about what flashed over the desert that August night. It is about the enduring humanity of those touched by the unexplainable and their relentless quest for truth. The question remains open, echoing in the vast desert winds. Will the phantom lights ever reveal their true origin? Or will they remain forever a haunting mystery etched into the fabric of Dry Creek's history, waiting for someone brave enough to uncover what lies beneath the silence? As the years folded into decades, the small town of Dry Creek found itself caught between past and present, its identity forever marked by the phantom lights that had once flashed across its skies, shattering the calm desert nights and the lives of those who witnessed them. The incident of 1978 was not just an isolated event, but a thread woven tightly into the fabric of the community, one that held secrets, pain, and mysteries that refused to rest quietly beneath the sands. For many, the lights were a terrifying glimpse into the unknown. For others, a pilgrimage of sorts, a call to uncover truths buried by time and government secrecy. Among the most compelling new developments were first-hand accounts from families who had previously stayed silent, bound by fear, threat, or disbelief. These stories painted a chilling picture of a town grappling with an unacknowledged trauma, neighbors disappearing without explanation, unexplained phenomena surrounding homes, and a persistent sense of being watched by unseen eyes. Lucy Reynolds, whose father had been one of the original witnesses in 1978, described how her family home would suddenly be bathed in unnatural light at night, windows glowing with colors shifting beyond the visible spectrum. She recalled nights filled with strange noises, like whispers carried on static, and times when her father would stare out into the desert, eyes wide with fear and longing, speaking in fragmented sentences about things waiting in the dark. Such personal experiences give a human face to the abstract mystery, weaving the ethereal lights into the emotional tapestry of those affected. Then there were the artifacts, old film reels, diaries, photographs, that had slowly emerged from the shadows. An aging film technician discovered a set of damaged reels labeled simply with a date, August 14th, 1978. The footage was grainy but undeniable. Flickering lights darted erratically across the night sky, pulsing and changing hues in complex sequences. The film also showed shadowy figures moving cautiously through the desert, their movements deliberate and cautious, as if aware of being observed. Despite the degraded quality, the images transmitted a palpable sense of unease, a feeling of watching something not meant for human eyes. These reels became the centerpiece for renewed investigation and public fascination, raising more questions than they answered. Who were the figures captured in the footage? Were they government agents, military personnel, or something else entirely? Theories abounded, each more tantalizing and terrifying than the last. In parallel, modern technology brought new tools to the investigation. Satellite imagery analysis uncovered strange formations in the Mojave Desert near Dry Creek, geometric patterns not explained by natural causes, resembling what some theorists suggested might be landing sites or communication arrays. Ground-penetrating radar surveys hinted at disturbed soil patterns consistent with heavy machinery or large objects having been buried hastily, fueling rumors of hidden wreckage or alien artifacts interred beneath the desert floor. The scientific curiosity ran headlong into political obfuscation and institutional secrecy. Freedom of Information Act requests yielded heavily redacted documents, fragments of reports hinting at anomalous aerial phenomena and unidentified aerial objects, but no definitive conclusions. The government's refusal to fully disclose information only deepened public suspicion and mistrust, reinforcing the notion of a calculated cover-up. Complicating matters were the psychological effects on the town's population. Medical professionals consulted by independent researchers noted elevated cases of anxiety, post-traumatic stress symptoms, and unexplained physical ailments among residents who experienced the event or its aftermath, suggesting a community still grappling with the invisible scars left by that night. Many older residents spoke of the broken silence, the collective unconscious trauma passed down through generations, manifesting in nightmares, sudden chills, and an undeniable connection to something beyond. The cultural and historical elements intertwined as well. Local indigenous groups offered perspectives linking the phantom lights to ancient legends of sky beings and celestial visitors, suggesting the incident in 1978 was part of a long continuum of unexplainable encounters. Petroglyphs found near the area depicted glowing orbs and humanoid figures, resonating uncannily with witness accounts almost 2 centuries later. Such connections hinted at a bridge between modern mystery and ancient myth, challenging Western scientific narratives and inviting a broader view of history and the unknown. Documentaries, podcasts, and investigative journalism projects brought new light to the story in the 21st century, with interviews of surviving witnesses, family members, and experts building a mosaic of voices that defied traditional skepticism. These efforts culminated in public forums and conferences held in Dry Creek, drawing enthusiasts, scholars, and skeptics alike into passionate debates on the nature of the phantom lights. For many, the event transcended simple explanation. It became a symbol of humanity's eternal quest for understanding in a universe filled with mysteries. The desert's phantom lights resonated as a haunting metaphor for the things we glimpse but cannot yet grasp. The shadows in the dark calling us not just to look, but to see. And yet, amid all the revelations and investigations, questions remain stubbornly unanswered. What were the true intentions behind the lights? Were they visitors, watchers, or warnings? Why have so many truths been buried under layers of silence and denial? And crucially, will Dry Creek ever find peace with the legacy etched indelibly into its history? The answers lie buried somewhere in the vast desert expanse, hidden beneath years of dust, secrecy, and time. As new generations take up the mantle of inquiry, equipped with fresh perspectives and technologies, the hope persists that one day the phantom lights will reveal their secrets, not as shadows fleeting across the night, but as truths shining brightly in the long desert dawn. The older residents of Dry Creek often speak of a night that changed in everything, but not just because of the lights themselves. It was the silence that followed that truly weighed heavy. Families once close-knit found themselves fractured by fear and suspicion. Neighbors who once shared stories now avoided eye contact or whispered behind closed doors. The town meetings turned tense as people debated whether to speak openly or continue the uneasy quiet. Some believed the lights were a blessing, a sign of something beyond human comprehension. Others feared they were a curse, an omen of things better left alone. Among those who dared to speak was Helen Parker, a local school teacher whose classroom once buzzed with youthful energy, but who became haunted by nightmares after witnessing the lights that summer night. Helen's story spread slowly, told in fragments at first, her reluctance reflecting the community's fear. She described seeing the lights dance in the sky just above the schoolyard, casting eerie shadows that seemed almost alive, as if reaching down toward the earth. Her students, too young to understand, spoke of strange dreams and a growing sense of unease. Years later, Helen's diary was discovered by her granddaughter, filled with sketches of the lights and desperate pleas for answers. Meanwhile, the media's sporadic coverage painted the events with skepticism and sensationalism, often dismissing witnesses as delusional or attention-seeking. The local newspaper ran headlines calling the sightings "Mass Hysteria Strikes Dry Creek," further alienating those who spoke of truth. Such public doubt deepened the divide within the town, isolating believers and fueling rumors that later testimonies would confirm were encouraged by outside forces. A particularly mysterious figure was Jonathan Weaver, a government contractor who arrived in Dry Creek days after the incident. Weaver's presence sparked intense speculation. Official records list him merely as a consultant, but locals described him as a man with a cold demeanor, always accompanied by men in suits and dark glasses. Witnesses say he visited several homes, collected samples of soil and rock, and photographed the desert from dawn till dusk. In a town reeling from confusion and fear, Weaver's silent operations only added to the atmosphere of paranoia. The whispers of secret experiments and hidden agendas became part of the town's folklore. Weaver disappeared as suddenly as he had arrived, but not before rumors swirled that he was part of a larger operation monitoring unidentified aerial phenomena across the country. As the decades passed, Dry Creek became a pilgrimage site for those fascinated by the unexplained. Researchers, skeptics, and believers alike flocked to the desert, eager to follow the trail of the phantom lights. Some came armed with the latest equipment, others with stories passed down through generations. All sought to make sense of the mystery that refused to fade. Local guides began organizing tours to key sites. The old schoolyard, the diner where witnesses first reported the lights, and isolated desert roads where strange marks on the ground endure. The economy subtly shifted, with motels and cafes catering to curiosity, but the heart of the town remained cautious, wary of what bringing outsiders might stir up. Through all this, a renewed community effort emerged to honor the memory of those affected. Each year, on the anniversary of August 14th, townspeople gather for a candlelight vigil, sharing stories, photos, and hopes that one day the full truth will emerge. In the flickering glow of thousands of candles against the desert night, the phantom lights are remembered not just as a spectacle of the sky, but as a chapter of history shaped by real people with real fears and dreams. The mystery of the phantom lights continues to captivate and confound, a living story that stretches beyond the desert horizon. It is a tale of wonder and warning, history and hope intertwined, waiting to be unraveled by those brave enough to look beyond the darkness. What secrets still lie hidden beneath the desert sands? What truths remain cloaked in the night sky, waiting for their light to shine through once more? The phantom lights over Dry Creek still beckon, their quiet glow a reminder that some mysteries are never truly solved. They live on as legends, as warnings, and as invitations to understand the unknown. One cannot tell the story of Dry Creek's phantom lights without mentioning the countless nights spent scanning the desert sky. Nights when families waited in anxious anticipation, hoping for answers that seemed just out of reach. Among those who became obsessed with uncovering the truth was Henry Matthews, a retired engineer who, after witnessing the lights firsthand, dedicated himself to studying their patterns. Henry's meticulous observations revealed that the lights didn't just flicker randomly. They followed movements that suggested purpose and intelligence, moving in formations, accelerating with impossible speed, then hovering silently as if communicating in a language unknown. His work, initially dismissed as fantasy, gained recognition when similar patterns appeared in reports from other parts of the country, suggesting a coordinated phenomenon rather than isolated incidents. But fascination came with risks. Henry's mansion, filled with charts and photographs, was ransacked one night, his crucial research files stolen in the dead of darkness. The message was unmistakable. Some truths were dangerous. Beyond individual stories were the governmental shadows cast long and dark over Dry Creek. Documents leaked years after the incident suggested the existence of Project Mirage, a covert operation linked to aerial sightings, surveillance, and psychological studies conducted on unaware populations. The files hint at efforts to discredit witnesses by labeling reports as hallucinations or fabrications, efforts to control the narrative and maintain secrecy at a national level. The implications were staggering. If true, the phantom lights were not just unexplained phenomena, but a subject of intense governmental scrutiny and possible manipulation. Despite these obstacles, public interest surged. Documentaries and podcasts spread the story worldwide, bringing with them new witnesses from distant communities who claimed to have experienced similar phenomena. Online forums buzzed with theories and shared memories, connecting Dry Creek's story to a larger tapestry of global mystery. Meanwhile, the desert itself seemed to breathe with history and enigma. Local explorers found relics, strange metal fragments embedded deep in rocky soil, unidentifiable but unmistakably artificial. Some of these fragments exhibited magnetic properties unlike anything known. Metallurgists tested them but could not trace them to any known manufacturer, deepening speculation of extraterrestrial origin. The town's youth grew up in the shadow of these tales, their childhood threaded with legendary accounts handed down by older generations. For them, the phantom lights were part myth, part reality, a mysterious legacy shaping their identity as much as their home's dusty streets and endless skies. Artists and poets found inspiration in the phenomenon, creating works that captured the eerie beauty and haunting ambiguity of the lights and their effects on the human psyche. This cultural renaissance transformed Dry Creek from a town marked by fear to one defined by curiosity and resilience. Yet, amid this blossoming of knowledge and expression, the original mystery endured, stubborn and elusive. Why did the lights appear that summer night? What exactly did those shadowy figures seek? And most hauntingly, what message, warning, or revelation lies embedded deep in the silent desert? The phantom lights remain a beacon calling out to the curious, the brave, and the unsettled. They remind us that some mysteries are woven into the essence of our world, at once terrifying and beautiful, unanswerable yet compelling. Dry Creek may rest quietly beneath the vast night sky, but its story burns bright, a testament to humanity's enduring quest to illuminate the unknown. Even decades after the phantom lights first lit up the skies above Dry Creek, their grip on the town's collective consciousness remained as strong as ever, like a haunting melody no one could forget. The original witnesses, now aged and burdened with memories heavy as stone, carried their stories quietly, often sharing them only with close family or the occasional trusted stranger. Their narratives, layered with fear, awe, and confusion, form the backbone of what would become one of the most compelling mysteries in modern American history. Among them was Samuel Willis, once a rugged miner turned local historian, whose detailed journals pieced together fragments of the night's events that the official records sought to erase. Samuel's accounts revealed a night punctuated by strange phenomena: earth tremors coinciding with the light's appearance, sudden surges in electrical equipment nearby, and an eerie stillness that descended like a shroud over the town. In his later years, Samuel became a beacon for truth seekers, his home a quiet sanctuary filled with books, maps, and artifacts related to the incident. His daughter Marie recounted how he would spend hours poring over faded photographs and newspaper clippings, reconstructing timelines and uncovering inconsistencies in the reports. This dedication inspired a new generation who found in his stories a call to continue the search for answers. Yet, the town's story was far from linear. In the shadows lurked those who sought to distort or suppress the truth. Government insiders who dared speak faced reassignment, or worse, quick silences that echoed through corridors of power. The legend of Dry Creek became a battleground between those craving transparency and others enforcing the status quo of secrecy. Public inquiries were stonewalled, witnesses were discredited, and evidence was buried beneath layers of bureaucracy. Despite these hurdles, the ever-growing network of enthusiasts, investigators, and locals refused to let the story die. Technology lent new tools: night vision cameras, aerial drones, and advanced signal detectors, all deployed in frantic hopes of capturing something solid, something undeniable. Each sighting rekindled fervor. Each unexplained flash stirred memories long dulled by time. The desert, vast and indifferent, seemed both obstacle and guardian, hiding secrets in its wind-sculpted dunes and sun-baked rocks. Some theorized the phantom lights were visitors from distant worlds, emissaries observing humanity with motives inscrutable and alien. Others argued they were manifestations of advanced, perhaps secret human technologies or energies yet poorly understood. Still, a third camp believed the lights were symbolic, a cosmic warning woven into the fabric of nature itself, urging humanity to awaken to deeper realities. The diversity of these theories only underscored a shared truth: Dry Creek's mystery transcended simple explanation. challenging our notions of existence and knowledge. But amid all the speculation, the human element remained paramount. It was the stories of loss, hope, and resilience that gave the lights their deepest meaning. Families torn apart or drawn closer, lifelong friendships forged or fractured by shared experience, and a community forever shaped by a night when the desert sky shimmered with secrets. The phantom lights echoed beyond Dry Creek, entering fringe folklore and mainstream consciousness alike, capturing imaginations far beyond the Mojave's dusty horizons. Books were written, films made, and countless online discussions fueled by the longing to understand what once was and what might still be. For many, the lights symbolize the eternal dance between light and shadow, knowledge and mystery. As Dry Creek looks toward an uncertain future, the lights serve as a reminder that some questions do not have easy answers, and some truths are waiting patiently in the darkness to be discovered. What shines in the night sky today may be different, but the spirit of that summer night in 1978 lingers, a beacon for those who dare to seek the unknown, a story etched forever in the heart of the desert. Dry Creek's story is not just about lights in the sky. It's about a community forever altered by an experience that blurred the lines between reality and the unknown. In the years following the sightings, the town's residents found themselves living in a world where trust was fractured and every shadow carried a hint of fear. Some turned inward, protecting their secrets closely, while others sought connection through shared stories and collective remembrance. Among the town's most compelling voices was Eleanor Davis, whose role as a nurse placed her at the heart of the community's silent suffering. Eleanor tended to those affected by mysterious ailments in the weeks and months after the lights vanished, many suffering unexplained symptoms, fatigue, nosebleeds, and sudden panic attacks that baffled professionals. She recalled how patients described hearing faint hums and seeing flickers of light no one else could detect. Eleanor's notes, recently uncovered, provide a rare clinical glimpse into the physical toll the event took on Dry Creek's people, adding a haunting layer to the narrative. Meanwhile, the younger generation, raised in the shadow of the incident, grew divided between skepticism and fascination. Some dismissed the phantom lights as nothing more than mass hallucination or elaborate hoax, while others embraced the mystery, choosing to believe in something greater than themselves. This divide often played out in schoolyards and community gathering, reflecting a larger cultural clash between rationalism and wonder. Technology continued to advance, bringing new possibilities for exploration and evidence collection. Amateur astronomers equipped with the latest night vision gear captured fleeting images of glowing orbs moving at impossible speeds. Audio recordings picked up phenomena that evaded scientific explanation, contributing to a growing database of encounters that seemed to span the globe. Yet, despite the mounting evidence, definitive proof remained elusive. Dry Creek became a microcosm of the worldwide search for understanding when faced with the extraordinary. The town also became a magnet for conspiracy theorists and seekers of the paranormal. Radio shows and internet forums buzzed with debate about Dry Creek, sparking passionate discussions about government cover-ups, alien visitation, and metaphysical awakenings. These dialogues brought new energy and controversy to the story, drawing curious visitors and researchers alike. Yet for many in Dry Creek, the phantom lights were more than spectacle. They were a deeply personal legacy. Each family carried fragments of the night within their memories, their stories intertwining to form a tapestry of courage, pain, and hope. The annual commemorations, candlelight vigils, and museum exhibits offered a space for healing and affirmation, transforming trauma into community strength. As new investigations emerge and technology offers fresh vantage points, Dry Creek stands ready to share its truths, no longer bound by fear but empowered by endurance. The mystery of the phantom lights challenges us to reconsider what we accept as possible and urges us to confront the shadows with open hearts and minds. The night skies over Dry Creek may still hold their secrets, but the town's spirit shines as a beacon of resilience and relentless curiosity. This is a story not just about what appeared in the desert sky, but about the human capacity to seek, to believe, and to endure the unknown. The phantom lights of Dry Creek have woven themselves into the fabric of the town's identity, shaping lives and destinies in ways both subtle and profound. For some, These lights were a moment of wonder, a glimpse into realms beyond human comprehension. For others, they were a source of fear and sorrow, a reminder of mysteries better left unexplored. Among the more recent developments in the ongoing narrative is the work of Dr. Emily Carter, a physicist specializing in atmospheric phenomena who arrived in Dry Creek determined to apply scientific rigor to the anomaly. Emily's approach was meticulous, combining field observations with advanced spectral analysis and magnetic field measurements during the anniversary of the light's first appearance. Her findings were compelling. Electromagnetic disturbances registered at rates and intensities far exceeding natural occurrences. Emily theorized that the lights could be a physical manifestation of phenomena at the intersection of atmospheric science and quantum effects, possibly involving energy fields unrecognized by current models. However, her scientific curiosity brought her into conflict with local authorities and federal agencies protective of their classified information. Her equipment was frequently inspected, interviews delayed, and access to critical sites restricted. This interference hinted at layers of secrecy still cloaking the phantom lights decades later. During her investigation, Emily uncovered interviews with Dry Creek residents hinting at unexplained health effects linked to exposure to the lights, symptoms mirroring those seen in radiation sickness or electromagnetic hypersensitivity. These accounts open troubling questions about the long-term impact of the phenomenon on human health and safety, subjects often glossed over in official narratives. Beyond the scientific, the cultural resonance of the lights continued to grow. Artists, writers, and filmmakers found in the phantom lights a rich source of inspiration, producing works that explored themes of mystery, human frailty, and the search for meaning in an unknowable universe. These creative expressions helped to shift public perception, moving from outright skepticism to a nuanced appreciation of the light's symbolic and emotional significance. In the wider world, Dry Creek became emblematic of countless such mysteries, sites where science, spirituality, and sensation intersect in unpredictable ways. Conferences and symposiums convened regularly, inviting experts from varied fields to discuss the phenomenon's implications, from astrophysics to psychology to anthropology. Yet, no matter the approach, all agreed on one crucial point. Dry Creek's phantom lights were more than just a local oddity. They were a keyhole glimpse into dimensions of existence still beyond our understanding. As new generations of researchers and witnesses came forward, armed with cutting-edge technology and renewed determination, Dry Creek stood on the threshold of potentially groundbreaking revelations. The desire to break through the veil of silence and secrecy fueled many, united in the hope of finally illuminating the true nature of the phantom lights. Despite the many challenges, their collective efforts embodied a timeless human trait, the endless pursuit of knowledge, even when confronting the inexplicable. Dry Creek's journey is ongoing, its skies as wide and mysterious as ever, holding the promise of answers hidden in shadows and light. This story is far from over. It beckons the curious, the brave, and the hopeful, inviting them to join a quest that bridges past and future, science and soul, reality and wonder. Dry Creek, once a quiet desert town, had transformed into a living archive of unanswered questions and enduring fascination. The phantom lights continued to captivate not only those who had witnessed them, but also new generations eager to understand the inexplicable. One such figure was Rachel Martinez, a young journalist who arrived in Dry Creek to document the unfolding story and the town's remarkable resilience. Rachel's immersive reporting brought fresh attention to the lives behind the legend, the families still grappling with loss, the skeptics turned believers, and the scientists walking the delicate line between fact and speculation. Through countless interviews with locals, Rachel uncovered powerful narratives of courage, silence, and determination. One compelling account came from George Thompson, a retired sheriff's deputy who had been on duty the night the lights appeared. George's memories were sharp, tinged with the gravity of responsibility and the weight of secrets kept. He recalled receiving strange calls reporting unexplainable phenomena, witnessing equipment failures, and feeling an unspoken pressure from higher authorities to downplay the events. His testimony humanized the broader mystery, revealing the personal conflicts faced by those caught between duty and truth. Meanwhile, Rachel's investigation coincided with the resurgence in international interest in unexplained aerial phenomena, as governments around the world began declassifying files and acknowledging encounters that had long been denied. Dry Creek found itself at the center of this global conversation, its story cited as a quintessential example of the complex interplay between witness accounts, government response, and public curiosity. Impassioned debates unfolded in public forums, universities, and social media platforms, exploring the ways in which culture, technology, and belief shape our understanding of such phenomena. Beyond the public sphere, clandestine meetings took place, with experts, insiders, and former officials sharing insights that hinted at larger frameworks of knowledge still hidden from the public eye. The layers of secrecy surrounding Dry Creek deepened, revealing government programs dedicated to monitoring, researching, and, at times, discrediting reports of aerial anomalies. For the town, this attention brought both hope and challenge. Economic gains from tourism and media projects contrasted with concerns about privacy and exploitation. The community sought to balance openness with respect for the mysteries deeply personal to many residents. As Rachel's project progressed, she discovered a treasure trove of personal artifacts, letters, photographs, tapes, offering poignant glimpses into the lives forever altered by the phantom lights. These intimate fragments underscored the story's emotional core, reminding all who listen that behind every mystery lies the human heart beating with fear, hope, and a yearning for understanding. Dry Creek's story is a mosaic of science and spirit, skepticism and wonder, silence and revelation. It is a testament to humanity's enduring desire to explore the unknown, to piece together fractured truths, and to find light in the darkness. The phantom lights remain an enigma, a puzzle waiting for the mind brave enough to unlock it and the soul curious enough to embrace its mystery. The desert sky might never fully reveal its secrets, but through the stories shared and the questions asked, the legacy of the phantom lights continues to glow, guiding those willing to follow into the vast unknown. Not every story told in Dry Creek is filled with fear or unanswered questions. There are moments of unexpected light and genuine human connection woven through the years of mystery. One such story comes from Martha Reynolds, the town's beloved librarian, whose quiet dedication preserved countless accounts and artifacts that might otherwise have been lost to time. Martha understood the importance of memory as a foundation for healing and truth. Through her tireless efforts, the Dry Creek Historical Society formed a dedicated archive, collecting photos, recorded interviews, newspaper clippings, and even personal mementos linked to the phantom lights. Her workshops brought together skeptics and believers, young and old, fostering conversations that bridged gaps and built community. In one heartfelt gathering, a local elder recounted a night watching the lights from a hilltop alongside his son, sharing a moment of wonder that transcended generations and skepticism alike. These shared experiences sparked an evolving narrative, not just of mystery, but of resilience and common humanity amid extraordinary circumstances. Meanwhile, outsiders continued to bring new perspectives. Dr. Li Chen, a psychologist specializing in memory and trauma, visited Dry Creek to study how collective experiences shape mental health across decades. Her research revealed how events like the Phantom Lights can imprint on a community's consciousness, influencing everything from folklore to interpersonal relationships. Dr. Chen found Dry Creek's people had developed remarkable coping strategies, creating rituals, storytelling traditions, and support networks that transformed anxiety into strength. This fresh lens brought a healing dimension to the saga, highlighting how humanity adapts and persists even in the face of the unexplained. Alongside this human story, technological breakthroughs began offering new hope for understanding. A team of astrophysicists collaborated with local volunteers, using satellite data and ground sensors to track recurring light patterns in the region. Their findings suggested that these phenomena might be tied to complex atmospheric interactions involving charged particles and magnetic fields, phenomena rarely observed in other parts of the world. These scientific insights did not diminish the sense of wonder. They deepened it, illustrating how nature itself can craft spectacles as mesmerizing as any legend. At the same time, the town embraced its role as a beacon for curiosity and inquiry. Festivals celebrating the phantom lights became annual highlights, filled with art exhibits, lectures, and stargazing parties that invited everyone to look up and imagine. These gatherings transformed Dry Creek from a place of whispered fear to one of communal pride and exploration. The lights that once caused division now united the town in celebration of the unknown's beauty and mystery. It is here, amidst laughter, storytelling, and the glow of campfires beneath star-studded skies, that the legend lives on, not as a ghost to be feared, but as a symbol of the human spirit's enduring quest for connection. Dry Creek's phantom lights remind us that sometimes the greatest mysteries reveal not just what lies beyond, but the strength and light within us all. As Dry Creek moved forward, its residents began to recognize that the phantom lights were not just an event frozen in time, but a living story evolving with each generation. Among the younger voices emerging was Kevin Marshall, a high school science teacher who used the town's mysterious past as a springboard for inspiring curiosity in his students. Kevin organized night hikes into the desert, teaching his pupils how to observe the stars and investigate natural phenomena with a skeptical yet open mind. His lessons embraced both scientific rigor and the magic of wonder, helping to heal the rift between skeptics and believers. For many students, these expeditions became transformative experiences, igniting lifelong passions for astronomy, physics, and storytelling. Kevin often said that understanding the unknown was less about having all the answers and more about embracing questions as invitations to explore. His enthusiasm breathed new life into Dry Creek's cultural fabric, blending education and mystery into a shared journey. Meanwhile, the broader impact of the phantom lights reached beyond the town's borders. Scholars from diverse disciplines, history, sociology, environmental science, visited Dry Creek, each adding layers to the collective understanding. Their research revealed how the lights had influenced local traditions, language, and even the town's economy. One particularly compelling study highlighted how the mystery had fostered a unique sense of identity, uniting a community often divided by age, background, and perspective. The phenomenon became a case study in how shared experiences can shape social cohesion and resilience. At the same time, media portrayals began to evolve. Documentaries shifted focus from sensationalism to nuanced storytelling, emphasizing human stories and the complexity of unexplained phenomena. This shift helped to reframe the narrative, allowing Dry Creek to reclaim its story on its own terms. Residents shared pride in their heritage, recognizing the phantom lights as part of their collective legacy rather than a source of shame or fear. Despite progress, some mysteries remained stubbornly intact. New sightings continued, though less frequent, reminding the town that not all questions could be answered in a single lifetime. With each appearance, the lights rekindled old memories and sparked new debates, ensuring that the story was never truly finished. Dry Creek's journey reflects a universal truth. Mystery and humanity are entwined, each shaping the other in profound ways. Sometimes the search for understanding leads not to certainty, but to connection, with our past, with each other, and with the vast unknown that stretches beyond the desert horizon. The phantom lights endure as a symbol, urging us to look up, to ask, and to never lose the spark of wonder that drives us forward. The phantom lights of Dry Creek have long been a source of mystery, but they've also become a catalyst for unexpected discoveries and connections that transcend the supernatural. In recent years, an unlikely team came together: scientists, local historians, and indigenous elders, united by a shared goal: to understand the deeper significance of the lights and what they reveal about the landscape and its people. This collaboration brought a new, richer perspective that blended modern science with ancient wisdom. The indigenous elders shared stories passed down through generations, tales of celestial beings who visited the desert long before modern history began. These stories, laden with symbolism and reverence, painted the lights not as threats, but as messengers, guardians of balance and keepers of secrets meant to guide those willing to listen. Scientists, armed with cutting-edge technology, sought to study the land itself, the minerals, the electromagnetic fields, and the atmospheric conditions that might explain the phenomena in natural terms while honoring cultural interpretations. Together, they organized a series of community workshops and field studies, creating spaces for dialogue and learning. These gatherings fostered understanding and respect, bridging the gap between science and spirituality. The project unveiled surprising findings. Certain mineral deposits appeared to interact with the Earth's magnetic field, producing luminous effects under specific environmental conditions. These effects could align with witness descriptions of the phantom lights, suggesting a natural phenomenon augmented by a cultural meaning. Yet, the undeniable mystery remained. Some lights exhibited behaviors inconsistent with known scientific explanations, leaving room for wonder and further exploration. This integrative approach transformed Dry Creek's narrative from one overshadowed by fear and division to one illuminated by collaboration and respect. The town became a beacon for holistic inquiry, attracting curious minds, eager to learn from both data and tradition. As part of this new chapter, educational programs were developed, combining storytelling with scientific experiments to engage visitors and locals alike. The message was clear. The unknown is not something to be feared, but a call to deeper awareness. Dry Creek's phantom lights had evolved from eerie enigmas into powerful symbols of connection between past and present, people and planet, knowledge and mystery. In the quiet desert nights, beneath skies painted with stars and shifting shapes, the lights continue their dance, a timeless invitation for all who look up to ponder their place in the vastness. This story is not just about what once was seen, but about the journey toward understanding, empathy, and unity across the boundaries of culture and science. The phantom lights of Dry Creek serve as a testament to the enduring human spirit, curious, resilient, and forever reaching toward the horizon. Amid the dusty streets and silent hills of Dry Creek, the story of the phantom lights continued to ripple through time, weaving new threads into an ever-expanding tapestry. One figure whose life became deeply entwined with the mystery was Michael Anderson, a local photographer whose haunting images brought the supernatural into sharp, unforgettable focus. Michael's journey began during a solitary night hike when, camera in hand, he witnessed a sudden burst of unearthly glow illuminating the skyline. The lights, shimmering in hues no human light could replicate, moved with an eerie grace that defied physics and sparked a profound sense of awe in Michael's heart. Compelled to capture this otherworldly spectacle, he photographed the lights from every angle, producing images that became central to the revival of Dry Creek's story. His photographs, gritty yet poetic, revealed shapes and patterns that seemed deliberate, like silent messages etched in light. Exhibited around small galleries and shared on growing social platforms, Michael's work bridged the gap between skeptics and believers by placing undeniable visual proof into public view. As his notoriety grew, so did his sense of responsibility to the town and its legacy. Michael began collaborating with former witnesses, collecting oral histories and weaving together a multimedia tapestry of the event. His urgent, heartfelt project brought new attention to the personal impact of the lights and the community's resilience. Yet, while success brought recognition, it also brought challenges. Michael faced pressure from powerful interests wary of renewed scrutiny, anonymous threats urging him to stop investigating, and warnings veiled in concern for the town's future. Undeterred, Michael pressed on, viewing his art as a beacon illuminating truths long hidden. Beyond Michael's personal story, Dry Creek itself underwent transformation. The town embraced a spirit of renewal, blending tradition with innovation. New research centers opened, inviting visitors to study the desert's unique ecosystem alongside its mysterious history. Environmental scientists found parallels between natural cycles and the patterns of the lights, hinting at cosmic rhythms intertwined with earthly life. In schools, children learn not only about the sciences, but also about storytelling, empathy, and community, ensuring that the legacy of the phantom lights would continue to inspire a balance of skepticism and wonder. As the desert winds shifted beneath the vast expanse of stars, Dry Creek stood as a testament to the power of story. How light can emerge from shadow, how mystery can foster unity, and how even the most elusive phenomena can bring people together. The phantom lights were no longer just a haunting spectacle, but a source of pride, driving curiosity and creativity into the heart of the desert. And while the lights themselves remained as unpredictable and elusive as ever, their glow, captured in images, memories, and dreams, continued to shine brightly in the collective soul of Dry Creek. The story of Dry Creek's phantom lights is not merely one of inexplicable phenomena. It is a chronicle of community, transformation, and the relentless human quest for meaning amid mystery. As late summer gave way to autumn, the desert landscape shifted, its colors deepening, casting long shadows that seemed to echo the unresolved questions lingering still in the minds of those who called Dry Creek home. Among the many seeking answers was Dr. Andrew Collins, an astrophysicist whose fascination with unexplained aerial phenomena led him to the heart of this desert enigma. Dr. Collins embarked on a years-long research journey combining rigorous scientific methodology with deep respect for local lore. His approach was methodical, deploying advanced telescopes and sensors at strategic points across the Mojave, correlating atmospheric data with eyewitness accounts, and meticulously cataloging every flicker and flash that might shed light on the mystery. His team utilized spectral imaging technology capable of detecting wavelengths invisible to the human eye, hoping to capture clues hidden in the desert's night canvas. Over countless nights under the vast star-filled sky, Dr. Collins observed patterns, some consistent, others chaotic, that suggested complex natural phenomena possibly amplified by unique geological factors. Yet certain light behaviors defied conventional scientific explanation. Rapid accelerations, abrupt directional changes, and formations that seemed to communicate in a silent language. These flights of light were unlike any known meteorological or astronomical events, igniting debates within the scientific community and attracting scholars from around the world eager to explore this perplexing intersection of nature and mystery. But Dr. Collins knew that science alone could not fully unravel the story. He immersed himself in the town's history, seeking to understand how these events impacted the people whose lives were intertwined with the lights. Interviews revealed generations of resilience amid uncertainty. For many residents, the lights were both a source of fear and a catalyst for unity. The people of Dry Creek had created rituals, annual gatherings beneath the desert sky, storytelling circles, and art exhibits, transforming fear into a collective celebration of curiosity and connection. These human responses, Dr. Collins realized, were as vital to the story as the physical phenomena themselves. Amid his research, his team discovered previously unexamined geological surveys indicating that Dry Creek rests atop rare mineral deposits capable of generating electromagnetic anomalies. These deposits might interact with natural atmospheric electricity, creating luminous effects witnessed since at least the 19th century, and echoing the legends shared by indigenous peoples of sky visitors and glowing orbs. This revelation bridged spiritual traditions and scientific inquiry, offering a rare convergence that honored both perspectives. Yet, while progress was made, the shadow of secrecy lingering from decades past still cast doubt and intrigue. Leaked internal communications hinted at classified studies and undisclosed missions conducted in the area, fueling speculation that some aspects of the phantom lights were entangled with national security priorities. Whistleblowers spoke of black projects and surveillance operations designed to monitor and suppress information, complicating efforts toward transparency and public understanding. Locals recalled visits from unidentified agents urging silence, their presence a chilling reminder of the cost of curiosity. Dr. Collins became a reluctant figure caught in this web, balancing his commitment to scientific truth with the political sensitivities surrounding the phenomenon. His findings were scrutinized, delayed, and occasionally contradicted by official statements. Nevertheless, he remained steadfast, believing that advancing knowledge could coexist with respect for privacy and local autonomy. Meanwhile, the cultural impact of the lights blossomed in unexpected ways. Artists from around the globe descended upon Dry Creek, inspired by the ethereal glow, the haunting stories, and the profound questions they evoked. Sculptures, paintings, and multimedia installations transformed the town into a living gallery devoted to exploring the interplay of light and shadow, reality and imagination. These artworks provided new pathways for expression and healing, allowing residents and visitors alike to grapple with the mystery through creativity. Festivals celebrating this fusion of science, spirituality, and art attracted scholars, dreamers, and seekers. the curious drawn to Dry Creek by a shared yearning for connection and meaning. The festival nights, illuminated not just by the famous lights, but by lanterns and laughter, became emblematic of the town's evolution. A place where mystery was embraced rather than feared, where diverse perspectives mingled in hope of illumination. In this expansive tapestry of discovery, community, and wonder, Dry Creek stands as a testament to the human spirit's endurance and curiosity. The phantom lights, once seen as ominous or otherworldly, now symbolize the journey toward understanding, a beacon inviting all who dare to look up and ponder the vast unknown. As stars wheel overhead and desert winds whisper through ancient rocks, the story continues to unfurl, full of questions, revelations, and the expectation that one day the lights will reveal not just their secrets, but also the profound truths they silently guard beneath the endless sky. Years after the first enigmatic flashes of light had swept across Dry Creek's desert skies, the town became synonymous with mystery, but also with an extraordinary sense of hope and perseverance. The phantom lights had evolved from a fearful tale whispered at twilight to a catalyst for community revival and global curiosity. At the center of this transformation was the Dry Creek Research Initiative, a multidisciplinary effort that brought together scientists, historians, artists, and local citizens determined to explore the unknown while honoring the town's heritage. Dr. Amelia Rodriguez, a leading climatologist and geophysicist, spearheaded much of the initiative's groundbreaking work. Her studies uncovered unique atmospheric conditions over Dry Creek. Unusually high concentrations of rare minerals are combined with desert thermodynamics that could produce optical and electromagnetic phenomena unprecedented in scale and complexity. Amelia's research suggested that the interaction of charged particles suspended in the atmosphere with the geological makeup of the desert floor could create glowing orbs of light that appeared to dance and communicate, phenomena that echoed many eyewitness descriptions. Yet, Amelia was careful to emphasize the complexity of the puzzle. Nature has its mysteries that sometimes border on the inexplicable, she said. Her work did not seek to dismiss the supernatural, but rather to provide a scientific framework within which these phenomena could be explored. This approach helped foster dialogue between skeptics and those who believed the lights were something beyond terrestrial science. Meanwhile, sociologists on the team studied how Dry Creek's identity had been forever intertwined with the event. The phantom lights were no longer just an occurrence, but a symbol. A source of local pride and a reminder of endurance against adversity. Annual festivals celebrating the lights grew in popularity, transforming the town into a hub for cultural exchange, education, and artistic expression. Local artisans created works inspired by the lights, from paintings and sculptures to immersive light shows, turning the mystery into a vibrant, communal celebration of human creativity and curiosity. However, the exploration of the lights was not without controversy. Some residents remained wary of outside attention, concerned about commercialization overshadowing the event's deeper significance or fears of losing their privacy. Additionally, questions lingered about government involvement and secrecy, with some former officials and whistleblowers continuing to hint at hidden agendas and suppressed truths. These tensions reflected a broader challenge faced by Dry Creek, balancing openness with protection, curiosity with caution. The town's leaders navigated this delicate line, emphasizing respect for residents' wishes while promoting educational outreach and responsible tourism. Dry Creek became a case study in how communities grapple with extraordinary events, preserving dignity amidst the complex interplay of science, spirituality, and popular culture. The phantom lights themselves continued to perplex. Sporadic sightings persisted, often coinciding with specific atmospheric conditions or lunar phases, suggesting patterns yet to be fully understood. These recurring phenomena were documented meticulously, with each new appearance adding layers to the accumulated data. Amateur astronomers and professional researchers alike used advanced optics, spectral analysis, and electromagnetic sensors, creating a comprehensive archive accessible to both scientists and the public. Yet, the true nature of the lights remained elusive, an intersection of natural wonder and inscrutable mystery. Beyond scientific data, Dry Creek's phantom lights live vividly in personal stories, tales of wonder, fear, healing, and transformation. Families pass down memories of that summer night, woven with hope and sorrow, binding generations to a shared experience that transcended explanation. For many, the lights were a gateway to questions about existence, connection, and the universe's hidden dimensions. These narratives fueled an enduring fascination, inviting each listener to ponder the unknown in their own way. As night falls over Dry Creek, the desert sky once again becomes a canvas for celestial dance. The phantom lights shimmer and sway, timeless and elusive, reflecting the endless human pursuit of meaning. Their glow continues to inspire and challenge, reminding us that some mysteries are not puzzles to be solved, but journeys to be embraced, calling us beyond what we see toward what we can imagine. And so the story unfolds, an invitation across time and space for all who dare to look upward and dream. The years since the phantom lights first appeared over Dry Creek have been marked by an evolving dance between skepticism and belief, science and spirituality, silence and revelation. One of the most unexpected chapters in this continuing saga came with the arrival of Dr. Samuel Pierce, a neurologist who sought to understand the human mind's response to unexplained phenomena. Dr. Pierce's research focused not on the lights themselves, but on how those who witnessed them processed and internalized the experience, how memory, trauma, and perception intertwined to create narratives that shaped both individual lives and community identity. Through careful interviews, psychological testing, and immersive storytelling sessions, Dr. Pierce uncovered patterns of emotional resilience, as well as signs of unresolved anxiety and grief. Many witnesses described their experience with the lights as transformative, but also deeply isolating, facing skepticism from loved ones in the greater world. Yet these same individuals found solace and strength within their community, where shared understanding blossomed into collective healing. Dr. Pierce's groundbreaking work challenged him to reconcile scientific objectivity with the profound humanity underlying the myths, legends, and lived realities of Dry Creek's people. His findings illuminated how the human psyche embraces mystery, sometimes weaving it into meaning and identity in ways no conventional science could fully grasp. Around the same time, technological breakthroughs offered fresh avenues for exploration. The advent of hyperspectral imaging and drone-mounted LiDAR surveys allowed unprecedented views into the desert's hidden contours. Researchers uncovered geological formations shaped by ancient forces, some of which appeared aligned with the light patterns recorded over the years. This hinted at a possible link between the desert's natural structure and the phantom lights, adding complexity to a phenomenon previously viewed as purely atmospheric or extraterrestrial. Furthermore, advances in quantum physics suggested that some of these luminous displays might be explained by interactions at the subatomic level, phenomena where energy and matter blur and conventional rules falter. Debates among scientists became vibrant, with some embracing theories of exotic particles or cosmic energy fields, while others advocated for more empirical scrutiny. Dry Creek became a hub for these cutting-edge discussions, a crossroads where traditional wisdom met frontier science. Cultural engagement deepened alongside scientific inquiry. Writers, musicians, and filmmakers found fertile ground in Dry Creek's story, breathing life into the mystery through art. Their works explored themes of light and shadow, human vulnerability, and the search for connection amid the unfathomable. These creative voices enriched the communal narrative, inviting audiences worldwide to experience the emotional textures behind the flashing lights. The town's annual Festival of Lights blossomed into an international event, drawing visitors eager to celebrate both the mystery and the shared humanity it inspired. Yet, despite these waves of discovery and celebration, many old questions persisted. Government archives remained partially sealed, with fragments of classified reports hinting at deeper, unresolved investigations. Whispers of covert programs and hidden technologies fueled a sense that not all truths would be revealed. This tension fueled the story's enduring allure, a reminder that some enigmas are layered, some secrets guarded not only by the stars but by human hands. Dry Creek's phantom lights thus became a symbol of duality, wonder and fear, light and shadow, known and unknown. As night falls on the desert, the lights continue to shimmer and pulse, inviting dreamers and scientists, skeptics and believers alike to look up, to question, and above all, to imagine. For in the glow of those distant fires, we see reflected the endless human desire to understand our place in the universe, to find meaning and mystery, and to embrace the luminous dance of existence forever unfolding beneath the vast sky. Time in Dry Creek moved slowly, yet the phantom lights remained a relentless thread weaving through the fabric of each passing year, binding past to present in a story that never truly ended. The desert nights still held their quiet secrets, but with modern technology and renewed community spirit, the quest to understand the lights had taken on new life. Among the prominent figures was Dr. Elena Morales, an environmental scientist whose passion for the interplay between landscape and light led her to explore how Dry Creek's unique ecology might shape the phenomena. Elena's fieldwork revealed fascinating interactions between the specific mineral compositions of the soil, rare desert flora capable of bioluminescence under precise conditions, and atmospheric electricity. These findings suggested a natural yet profoundly rare foundation for some of the ghostly illuminations witnessed over the years. However, Elena also documented occurrences that defied purely natural explanation, orb-like lights moving with calculated precision, vanishing and reappearing as if guided by intelligence. Her research proposed a dualistic nature of the lights, part natural wonder, part inexplicable force beyond current science. This fusion of ideas captured imaginations and fostered collaboration between scientists and spiritual leaders in the Dry Creek. Local indigenous communities shared traditional knowledge, emphasizing respect for the land as a living entity, an approach that enriched scientific models with cultural depth and holistic insight. The blending of worldview became one of Dry Creek's most significant contributions to understanding phenomena at the intersection of human experience and nature's mysteries. Socially, the town transformed alongside its growing reputation. The once wary community embraced visitors and researchers, adapting infrastructure and cultural events to celebrate the mystery rather than conceal it. Museums exhibited artifacts and art inspired by the lights, while schools integrated the phenomenon into curricular themes of science, history, and cultural studies. Each year, the Lights Festival drew international attendees eager to participate in guided desert walks, lectures, and stargazing, experiencing firsthand the awe that had captivated Dry Creek's residents for decades. Yet beneath this vibrant engagement was a quiet plea among many locals for balance, the need to preserve the essence of their home and the mystery that sustained it, even as interest and scrutiny intensified. Political pressures and corporate interests occasionally threatened this balance, making community governance a delicate dance of openness and protection. In the midst of these challenges, personal stories of healing and hope emerged vividly. Families once divided by fear found solace in shared remembrance and collective strength. Individuals inspired by the lights pursued careers in science, art, and activism, their lives shaped by the indelible experience of the 1978 sightings. Among these, young leaders rose to prominence, advocating for environmental stewardship and cultural preservation, ensuring that Dry Creek's legacy would endure with integrity and respect. The lights themselves, while less frequent and more elusive with time, continued to appear sporadically, their ethereal glow a nightly reminder of the town's unique place in the world's mystique. Each appearance sparked renewed wonder and conversation, linking generations through a shared gaze into the unknown. As the desert winds whispered through the sagebrush and rocky outcrops, the phantom lights of Dry Creek danced on, beautiful, mysterious, and timeless, inviting all who looked up to dream beyond what is seen, to imagine the possibilities that lie waiting in the vast expanse above and within the human spirit itself. This ongoing story is a testament to the enduring power of mystery and how it shapes not only our understanding of the universe, but our own journey within it. The phantom lights of Dry Creek, elusive and majestic, have become more than just a phenomenon to observe. They embody a profound journey into the heart of human curiosity and the quest for meaning amid the vast unknown. In the wake of the numerous investigations, cultural evolutions, and personal transformations surrounding the lights, the town faced a new chapter shaped by both optimism and challenge. Among those steering this evolving narrative was Claire Hansen, a passionate anthropologist specializing in the cultural dynamics of belief and memory. Claire's in-depth ethnographic work with Dry Creek's residents revealed how the lights had transcended mere spectacle to become a powerful symbol or woven into the very identity of the community. Through her interviews, she uncovered stories of families who had transformed fear into tradition, isolation into solidarity. Rituals began to form, marked by annual celebrations, storytelling sessions, and artistic expressions that honored both the mystery itself and the shared human experience it evoked. Claire's findings highlighted how mystery, when embraced collectively, could bind a community in ways that trauma alone could not. Simultaneously, the scientific inquiry continued to expand beyond Dry Creek's borders, linking the phantom lights to broader patterns of aerial phenomena reported worldwide. Comparative analyses suggested similarities in energy signatures, movement patterns, and atmospheric conditions, prompting international collaborations among researchers. These efforts led to breakthroughs in understanding complex electromagnetic interactions in our atmosphere and introduced new theories about the interplay between natural Earth processes and possibly unknown forces. Yet the deeper the research reached, the more apparent it became that the story was as much about human perception and culture as it was about physical phenomena. This duality created a space of tension where rigorous science and rich folklore intersected, sometimes harmoniously, sometimes in spirited debate. For Dry Creek, this meant embracing complexity rather than seeking simple answers. The town's educational system adapted accordingly, incorporating interdisciplinary studies that combined hard science with cultural studies, philosophy, and art, inviting students to explore the phenomenon from multiple dimensions. This holistic approach cultivated a community invested in curiosity, critical thinking, and cultural respect, preparing new generations to carry the story forward with both skepticism and wonder. On the social front, Dry Creek became a beacon for those seeking connection in a fragmented world. Annual gatherings grew in size and diversity, drawing visitors who found in the lights a metaphor for broader human experiences, the intersection of light and darkness, known and unknown, certainty and mystery. These festivals, rich with music, dance, and visual art, fostered dialogue across cultures and disciplines, transforming Dry Creek from a quiet desert town into a global hub of shared human inquiry. Despite these positive developments, challenges persisted. Questions about the ethics of investigation, the commercialization of mystery, and the preservation of local culture sparked ongoing conversations. Controversies arose when external interests sought to capitalize on the phenomenon, prompting vigorous community debates about ownership, respect, and sustainability. Dry Creek's leaders learned to navigate these waters carefully, recognizing that the true value of the phantom lights lay not just in observation or speculation, but in the connections they fostered between people, between past and future, and between humanity and the universe it inhabits. And as sunsets painted the desert in hues of orange and purple, the phantom lights would occasionally reappear, shimmering softly like a reminder etched into the night. Their dance spoke not only to the town's history, but to the unending human drive to seek, to question, and to dream. The story of Dry Creek's mysterious lights remains unwritten in many ways, an open invitation to all who gaze upward to embrace the wonder of the unknown and to see beyond the limits of our understanding into the boundless possibilities of existence. In the intricate journey of Dry Creek and its phantom lights, the past and present woven together create a tapestry rich with meaning and mystery. The 22nd chapter of this unfolding story delves deeper into the interplay between the light's enigmatic presence and the profound imprint they left on personal lives, scientific inquiry, and cultural consciousness. Sarah Mitchell, a documentary filmmaker drawn to Dry Creek by whispers of the light's haunting beauty and enduring mystery, embarked on a mission to capture the multifaceted essence of the phenomenon through authentic voices and visual storytelling. Sarah's cameras traced the rugged desert landscapes, the weathered faces of longtime residents, and the vibrant scenes of cultural celebration sprouting amidst the arid terrain. Her work sought to humanize the story, presenting not just the lights themselves, but the emotional and social landscapes they illuminated. Among the stories Sarah documented was that of Eli Herrera, a man whose family roots in Dry Creek extended across generations, their lives marked by the silent presence of the lights. Eli spoke candidly about the nights when his father would step outside to watch the sky, eyes reflecting both wonder and a deep-seated unease. He shared memories of childhood filled with whispered legends, community gatherings, and a simultaneous yearning for answers and peace. Sarah's film captured the raw, intimate moments that framed the lights not as distant phenomena, but as living parts of human experience, sparking a powerful dialogue within and beyond Dry Creek. Meanwhile, the scientific frontiers continued to expand. Dr. Kaira Tanaka, a physicist exploring quantum optics, collaborated with field researchers to study the peculiarities of light patterns observed during the sightings. Utilizing portable spectrometers and ultra-sensitive photon detectors, her team documented bursts of coherent light emissions with properties unlike any known natural source. These findings hinted at possible advanced physical processes occurring in the atmosphere or even interactions with unknown energy forms. Kira's groundbreaking research sparked both excitement and controversy, challenging established paradigms and inspiring theoretical models that ventured into the realms of quantum entanglement in multidimensional physics. In the backdrop of these advances, local efforts to preserve Dry Creek's heritage flourished. The recently established Desert Light Center became a focal point for education, archiving, and community engagement, housing exhibits on geology, cultural history, and personal testimonies. The center also served as a research hub connecting scientists with residents and visitors. Workshops, lectures, and interactive programs invited participants to explore the intersection of science and story, fostering a collective sense of stewardship and curiosity. This blending of knowledge streams established Dry Creek not just as a site of mystery, but as a living laboratory of human experience and inquiry. Social dynamics in the town evolved as well. As new families moved in, attracted by the mystery and the community's vibrant culture, a delicate balance emerged between tradition and innovation. The Phantom Lights became a shared story, bridging gaps between newcomers and lifelong residents, skeptics and believers, artists and researchers. Community forums encouraged open dialogue about development, preservation, and the ethical dimensions of tourism and research related to the lights. Dry Creek's story became a model for how enigmatic phenomena could unite rather than divide, inspiring broader conversations about cultural identity and place-based knowledge. The lights themselves, still unpredictable and awe-inspiring, continued to appear sporadically, their rhythms weaving in tune with the desert's seasonal changes and the waxing and waning of the moon. Each sighting sparked renewed enthusiasm and a sense of reverence, reminding observers that some mysteries are meant to be lived as much as solved. As dusk yields to starry night, the phantom lights pulse softly against the vast desert canvas, silent sentinels of wonder, beckoning all who look upward to embrace curiosity, humility, and the shared human journey toward understanding the unknown. The enduring mystery of Dry Creek's phantom lights was never just about the spectacle of illumination dancing across the night sky. It was a gateway into the profound complexity of human experience when confronted with the unknown. That intersection of light and shadow, science and spirit, skepticism and wonder created a legacy that reverberated far beyond the desert boundaries. In this continuing chapter, the story turns toward the intergenerational transmission of memory and meaning, a theme as luminous and subtle as the lights themselves. Among the voices echoing through this narrative is that of Sofia Ramirez, a young historian dedicated to preserving the oral histories of Dry Creek's elders. Sophia's work involved weaving together the fragments of fragmented recollections, long-held secrets, and personal reflections that form the fabric of collective memory. Through her interviews, she uncovered how the phantom lights had shaped not only individual destinies, but had influenced cultural traditions, rituals, and the very ways in which the community related to the cosmos. Sophia's research illustrated how storytelling served as a vessel for both preserving truth and navigating uncertainty, allowing past generations to communicate with the present. Concurrently, advances in technology opened unprecedented windows into the phenomenon. Cutting-edge LiDAR and multispectral sensing devices were deployed to map the desert's topography and electromagnetic environment in finer detail than ever before. These technologies revealed unexpected anomalies, areas where the Earth seemed to resonate with subtle pulses of energy, coinciding with historical sighting locations. Scientists hypothesized connections to geomagnetic fluctuations, mineralogical peculiarities, and perhaps yet unidentified natural energy sources. These insights propelled the discourse beyond theories of simple optical illusion or extraterrestrial visitation, situating the phantom lights within a complex ecosystem of natural and possibly metaphysical interactions. As these scientific explorations unfolded, Dry Creek's cultural and social landscape evolved in remarkable ways. The town's annual celebrations grew into multifaceted festivals incorporating science fairs, art installations, indigenous ceremonies, and community dialogues fostering inclusivity and education. Local schools embrace the mystery as a pedagogical tool, encouraging students to engage in critical thinking, creative expression, and cross-disciplinary learning. Residents found empowerment in reclaiming their narrative, turning a once-dreaded enigma into a source of pride, identity, and hope. Yet, amidst these transformative developments, Dry Creek remained mindful of the delicate balance between exposure and preservation. Longtime residents expressed caution about increasing commercial attention, seeking to protect the town's essence and foster responsible stewardship of the desert's fragile ecosystems and cultural heritage. Local governance established policies prioritizing sustainability, respect, and community voices in guiding tourism and research initiatives. The Phantom Lights thus became a catalyst not just for curiosity, but for a broader commitment to care and connection. The lights themselves, still elusive and mesmerizing, continued to captivate observers, sometimes flickering gently on moonlit nights, other times erupting in vivid swirling displays that defied description. Each occurrence renewed the sense of wonder and mystery, a reminder of the limits of human knowledge and the boundless possibilities beyond. The story of Dry Creek's lights is an ongoing conversation across time, inviting every participant to contribute, question, and dream. It is a testament to the power of mystery to inspire not only scientific inquiry, but also cultural vitality and personal transformation. As the desert sky glows softly with the ghostly radiance of those radiant orbs, Dry Creek shines brightly, a beacon of wonder, resilience, and the eternal human embrace of the unknown. The legacy of Dry Creek's Phantom Lights is not simply a chronicle of strange visual phenomena, but a profound narrative of transformation and human connection. As time marches on, the story continues to unfold, blending new discoveries with the deep-rooted traditions shaped in the desert's vast expanse. At the heart of this evolving tale is the interplay between the natural world and human imagination, a dance as ancient as the stars themselves. Among the recent voices shaping Dry Creek's narrative is that of Marcus Lee, a documentary photographer whose lens found beauty not only in the elusive lights, but in the faces and stories of those who had lived through the events. Marcus's portfolio captures the raw essence of Dry Creek, a community rooted in resilience yet forever changed by the mystery overhead. Through his work, he illustrated how the lights had become a mirror reflecting human hopes, fears, and the unyielding search for understanding. Marcus's photographs, full of shadow and glow, close-up and vast landscapes, revealed a tapestry of emotion, intertwining the ethereal beauty of the lights with the tangible depth of human experience. Simultaneously, the scientific community pressed onward in its quest, developing increasingly refined technologies that expanded the boundaries of observation and analysis. Quantum sensors, atmospheric drones, and neural networks trained on spectral data enabled researchers to detect subtle electromagnetic variations and light patterns with unprecedented precision. These innovations revealed layers of complexity not previously discerned, hinting at dynamic interactions between geomagnetic forces, atmospheric conditions, and perhaps unfamiliar energy fields influencing the phantom light's behavior. Despite growing scientific insight, these phenomena resisted full explanation, retaining an aura of mystery that both frustrated and fascinated experts. Dry Creek itself became a crucible where science, culture, and spirituality coalesced. The town hosted interdisciplinary symposiums inviting physicists, indigenous storytellers, psychologists, and artists to converge in dialogue. These gatherings explored the myriad dimensions of the lights, from geological underpinnings and quantum hypotheses to cultural symbolism and psychological impact, fostering a holistic understanding that transcended disciplinary boundaries. Educational programs flourished, blending hands-on scientific inquiry with storytelling and indigenous knowledge, empowering youth and visitors alike to engage with the mystery from multiple perspectives. The fusion of tradition and innovation emerged as Dry Creek's distinctive hallmark. Socially, the Phantom Lights influenced a reawakening of community values, emphasizing shared heritage, environmental stewardship, and an openness to wonder. Local leaders championed sustainable tourism initiatives that balanced economic benefits with cultural integrity and ecological preservation. Families invited visitors to participate in ceremonies and gatherings, opening spaces for communal healing and exploration of identity shaped by the light's legacy. This ethos nurtured a community defined by resilience and curiosity, honoring the mystery as both a challenge and an opportunity. The lights themselves, ephemeral and majestic, continued to grace the desert nights unpredictably. Observers marveled at their spectral dances, sometimes shimmering faintly on the horizon, other times igniting the sky with swirling colors that stirred primal awe. Each sighting reignited connections across generations, a shared language of light and silence, teaching patience, humility, and the joy of discovery. The beauty and enigma of the Phantom Lights remind us all that some mysteries are alive, evolving with time and human engagement, inviting perpetual exploration. Dry Creek stands not just as a place on the map, but as a beacon embodying humanity's eternal yearning to understand, to connect, and to celebrate the luminous wonders hidden in the night. In the glow of those dancing orbs resonates a timeless invitation to look beyond, to question deeply, and to embrace the endless horizon of possibility. As the Phantom Lights continued to weave their subtle magic across the vast desert skies of Dry Creek, the town itself grew into a vibrant crossroads of mystery, science, and culture. Among the bustling activity and ongoing investigations, the personal stories of those touched by the phenomenon remain the beating heart of the community's identity. One such story is that of Olivia Parker, a former school teacher whose late-night sightings would evolve into a lifelong passion for understanding and sharing the narrative of the lights. Olivia's journey began on a cool summer evening decades earlier, when, from her porch beneath the endless stars, she witnessed radiant orbs moving silently with an intelligence that defied explanation. That vision ignited a spark that guided her through years of research, dialogue, and community engagement. Dedicated to bridging science and spirituality, Olivia became a key figure in preserving the oral histories that otherwise risked fading into obscurity. She trained a younger generation to document eyewitness accounts with care and respect, emphasizing the importance of memory as a living, evolving archive of human experience. Simultaneously, advancements in environmental science provided deeper insights into the conditions fostering the Phantom Lights. Geologists and atmospheric scientists collaborated to study the remarkable mineralogy beneath Dry Creek, discovering rare crystal formations capable of interacting with solar wind and ionospheric currents in unprecedented ways. These natural phenomena could create luminous effects observable from the ground, fluctuating glows, pulsations, and patterns that captured the imagination of residents and researchers alike. Though many aspects of the light's appearance aligned with these scientific explanations, other behaviors, such as precise formations and instantaneous disappearances, continued to defy current understanding, preserving an element of unexplainable wonder. The technological frontier expanded as well. New portable quantum detectors and adaptive optics allowed field teams to capture spectral signatures previously hidden within the desert's complex light environment. Combined with machine learning algorithms trained to recognize anomalous patterns, these tools created real-time visualizations of the light's energy dynamics, offering unprecedented windows into their elusive nature. These breakthroughs ignited both excitement and debate within the scientific community, inviting new theories about energy-matter interactions and the possible presence of unknown forces at play. Cultural responses deepened the tapestry of Dry Creek's story. Festivals celebrating light and mystery transformed into profound cultural experiences, immersive performances, ancient rites reclaimed by indigenous groups, and art installations that blurred the lines between science and spirituality. These events attracted visitors seeking more than spectacle, those yearning to experience the profound connection between the desert's natural beauty and humanity's infinite curiosity. The community engagement reflected a growing recognition that Dry Creek's phantom lights symbolized a shared journey, one not just of discovery, but of empathy, resilience, and unity. Local governance embraced this spirit, crafting policies that balanced growth with conservation, ensuring that the lights would remain both a beacon of wonder and a responsibility for stewardship. Amid these wide-ranging developments, the lights themselves remained as unpredictable and mesmerizing as ever. Observers recounted nights when the sky would erupt in silent cascades of color, with orbs weaving intricate patterns that seemed at once both spontaneous and deliberate. These breathtaking moments inspired awe and contemplation, a reminder that some enigmas serve not just to challenge our understanding but to enrich our lives with beauty. As Dry Creek embraces its legacy, the phantom lights continue to shine, a luminous thread linking the past to the future, science to spirit, and the human heart to the infinite night sky. They invite all who look upward to dream anew, to question bravely, and to find in mystery the enduring light that guides our shared journey on this vast and wondrous planet. The unfolding story of Dry Creek's phantom lights continues to captivate, not only for what flickers in the desert sky, but for the kaleidoscope of human experience it encompasses beneath that vast celestial dome. In this next chapter, the tale turns to the profound lessons the lights imparted, reaching deep into the very essence of community, identity, and the power of wonder. Among the notable voices shaping this reflection is Evelyn Grant, a poet and storyteller whose lyrical interpretations of the lights have helped transform fear into beauty and mystery into meaning. Evelyn's verses capture the ephemeral nature of the lights, the way they disappear as suddenly as they appear, leaving behind not just curiosity, but a sense of sacred awe. Her poems, recited under starlit skies during Dry Creek's annual gatherings, invite listeners to embrace the unknown as a source of inspiration rather than dread. Through her art, Evelyn reminds the town and its many visitors that mystery is a fundamental part of the human soul's journey, an invitation to live fully amidst unanswered questions. Concurrently, scientific explorations enter new frontiers with the integration of astrogeophysical studies. Teams equipped with space-bound sensors collaborate with ground crews, analyzing the intricate relationships between solar activity, planetary magnetospheres, and local geological phenomena. This holistic approach uncovers subtle synchronicities between sunspot cycles, electromagnetic fluctuations, and the timing of the phantom light appearances in Dry Creek. These correlations suggest a cosmic dimension to the phenomenon, a conversation between Earth and the wider universe articulated through bursts of ethereal energy. This realization bridges the microcosm of local experience with the macrocosm of cosmic dynamics, situating Dry Creek's lights within a universal narrative of connection and vitality. The embrace of indigenous wisdom further enriches this dialogue. Tribal elders share ceremonial knowledge, emphasizing harmony with natural cycles, the sacredness of light as a symbol of life and transformation, and the desert as a living presence. These teachings complement scientific perspectives by framing the lights within a context of relationship and respect, inviting observers to participate in the co-creation of meaning rather than merely seeking explanations. This integrative vision redefines the lights not as anomalies, but as sacred phenomena, touching the very fabric of existence in ways both tangible and transcendent. Socially, Dry Creek thrives as a nexus of education, spirituality, and cultural exchange. The Desert Light Institute, founded in recent years, embodies this integrative mission, offering programs that blend environmental science, anthropology, arts, and mindfulness practices. Visitors and residents alike engage in immersive experiences that foster connection, to place, to each other, and to the mysteries that shimmer on the horizon. The town's vibrant community life bursts forth in festivals, workshops, and gatherings that celebrate not only the lights, but the human spirit's capacity to embrace complexity and wonder. The phantom lights, meanwhile, continue to weave their spectral ballet across the desert nights. Observers note subtle shifts in their behavior, patterns becoming more intricate, displays more vivid, suggesting an evolving phenomenon responding to the attentive eyes and hearts below. These graceful dances inspire not just scientific inquiry, but a profound sense of communion, reminding all who witness that they are part of something far greater. Dry Creek stands as a luminous testament to humanity's enduring dance with the unknown, a place where mysteries are honored, where knowledge and imagination intertwine, and where the night sky calls forth endless possibilities. The phantom lights beckon us always to look up, to listen deeply, and to embrace the infinite journey of discovery that lies ahead. As the story of Dry Creek's phantom lights unfolds into its 27th chapter, it reveals a mosaic of human resilience, scientific curiosity, and the enduring allure of the unexplained. The lights are more than fleeting bursts of illumination. They are a continuing dialogue between the Earth, the cosmos, and the people who call this desert home. Central to this chapter is the work of Dr. Nathan Hall, a physicist whose fascination with electromagnetic phenomena led him to the very heart of Dry Creek's mystery. Nathan approached the phantom lights from a perspective grounded deeply in empirical inquiry and theoretical rigor. Employing advanced electromagnetic field detectors, spectrometers, and state-of-the-art neural data processing systems, his team documented phenomena that not only matched historical descriptions, but also uncovered new dimensions of the phenomenon. In particular, Nathan's research illuminated the presence of complex energy signatures exhibiting both wave-like and particle characteristics, a duality reminiscent of the enigmatic nature of light itself. These findings hinted at interconnected physical processes operating across terrestrial and possibly quantum scales, suggesting that the lights might represent a form of natural energy communication or a phenomenon at the boundary of current scientific understanding. Yet Nathan was keenly aware that scientific data alone that could not capture the full essence of Dry Creek's experience. He immersed himself in the narratives and emotions of those whose lives had been shaped by the lights. These stories, recounting wonder, fear, hope, and transformation, provided vital context that bridged observation with meaning. The interplay between measurable phenomena and human interpretation became a central theme in Nathan's approach, embodying the essence of interdisciplinary inquiry. Meanwhile, Dry Creek's cultural landscape continued to evolve dynamically. The community embraced its unique role as a guardian of mystery and a center for holistic exploration. Local institutions initiated programs blending science education with indigenous philosophy, art, and ecological stewardship. These programs fostered an environment where curiosity and reverence coexisted, nurturing a new generation attuned to the complexity of nature and spirit. Annual events expanded their scope to include international scholars, artists, and activists, transforming Dry Creek into a global hub for dialogue about the intersections of mystery, science, and culture. At the same time, the phantom lights themselves remained as elusive and enchanting as ever. Witnesses reported new behaviors, lights appearing in coordinated patterns, pulsating with rhythms that seemed almost musical, weaving through the sky with a purposeful grace. These phenomena sparked renewed fascination and debate, serving as a live laboratory for both scientific study and cultural reflection. The desert, ancient and enduring, provided the perfect backdrop for this ongoing performance between mystery and discovery. In the quiet moments beneath the star-studded canopy, the lights invited contemplation of our place in the vast cosmos and the interconnectedness of all life. Each flicker of light was a silent call to wonder, to humility, and to the eternal human impulse to explore the boundaries of knowledge and imagination. As Dry Creek moves forward with reverence and resolve, it stands not merely as a witness to mystery, but as a vibrant participant in the unfolding story. The phantom lights illuminate more than the desert. They illuminate the human spirit, resilient, curious, and forever reaching toward the infinite sky, ready to embrace whatever revelations lie just beyond the horizon. The phantom lights of Dry Creek have long enchanted both skywatchers and scholars, their ethereal glow a beacon of mystery amid the vast desert landscape. As the story advances into its 28th chapter, it is clear that the lights are not merely a spectacle of the night, but a profound catalyst for inquiry, connection, and transformation. One of the defining features of this chapter is the merging of advanced science with indigenous wisdom, a confluence that deepens understanding while honoring ancient perspectives. A key figure here is Dr. Maya Jensen, an interdisciplinary researcher whose work bridges physics, anthropology, and environmental science. Maya's investigations focus on how the desert's unique geology and atmospheric conditions might interact with cultural narratives and consciousness, or to produce experiences both beautiful and strange. Her team's studies employ remote sensing and spectral analysis alongside ethnographic interviews with tribal elders and community members, revealing a complex web of relationships between land, light, and lore. Maya emphasizes that the phantom lights cannot be fully understood without considering the multiplicity of ways humans experience and interpret them through science, story, ritual, and imagination. Her holistic approach fosters collaboration between scientists and indigenous communities, building respect and shared stewardship over the desert's mysteries. Parallel to academic efforts, Dry Creek's social fabric blossoms through artistic and communal expression. The town's annual Light and Shadow Festival has evolved into a breathtaking celebration of not just the phenomenon, but the human spirit's response to enigma. Performances blend ancient dance with modern multimedia, storytelling mingles with scientific presentations, and workshops invite participants to explore light both as a physical presence and a metaphor for knowledge and hope. These communal experiences foster connection across generations and cultures, turning Dry Creek into a living repository of shared wonder and resilience. The phantom lights continue to sparkle unpredictably in the desert sky, their patterns sometimes serene, other times vibrant and pulsating, shifting rhythms in delicate synchrony with the desert's natural cycles. Witnesses describe moments of profound awe when the lights seem to communicate through color and motion, a silent language that transcends words and evokes deep emotion. This dance of light invites reflection on humanity's place within a larger cosmic story, urging humility, curiosity, and reverence. Scientific analysis keeps pace, leveraging quantum sensors, atmospheric drones, and AI-driven pattern recognition to catalog and interpret these elusive phenomena. Though much is uncovered about the physical mechanisms behind the lights, many aspects remain tantalizingly beyond current explanation, preserving the phenomenon's essential mystery and magic. Dry Creek itself stands transformed, a nexus of past and future, science and spirituality, earthly reality and celestial wonder. The town's journey reflects a larger human narrative, our capacity to face the unknown, to find meaning in mystery, and to create beauty from questions that defy simple answers. As night falls once more over the desert, the phantom lights shimmer gently, a timeless invitation illuminated against the backdrop of stars, calling all who look up to dream, to explore, and to embrace the infinite possibilities that lie within the darkness and beyond. The relentless desert winds carry more than sand. They carry stories, legends, and whispers of the phantom lights that have danced over Dry Creek for decades, weaving a complex tapestry of mystery and meaning. As the story moves into its 29th chapter, we delve deeper into the profound impact these lights have had on both the land and its people, intertwining scientific curiosity with the spiritual fabric of the community. Amid the vibrant cultural resurgence sparked by the lights, one figure stands as a bridge between past and future. Elijah Cooper, a young indigenous leader and environmental activist whose roots in Dry Creek run deep through generations of connection to the land. Elijah's profound respect for ancestral traditions and modern ecological science inspires a holistic approach to preserving both the environment and the intangible heritage shaped by the mysterious lights. Under his guidance, community programs focus on sustainable living, environmental education, and honoring the desert as a living, breathing entity. His work emphasizes that understanding the phantom lights requires honoring the desert itself, the minerals beneath the soil, the winds that sculpt the dunes, and the stars that have watched over this land for millennia. Simultaneously, the scientific community takes bold steps forward. Dr. Anika Patel, a renowned astrophysicist specializing in atmospheric phenomena, coordinates a multinational research project stationed in Dry Creek, utilizing the latest satellite technology, high-resolution spectroscopy, and AI-driven data analysis to study the lights in real time. The findings reveal intriguing periodicities and energy emissions, indicating that the lights may be linked to complex electromagnetic interactions occurring at the boundary of Earth's atmosphere and outer space, a threshold where earthly and cosmic forces converge in subtle, beautiful ways that challenge existing scientific paradigms. Despite these advances, the essence of the phantom lights remains elusive, a shimmering puzzle inviting endless exploration. Observers describe new patterns of behavior, brilliant cascades forming intricate geometric shapes, rhythmic pulsations resembling nature's own heartbeat, and unexplainable accelerations defying known physical laws. These dynamic displays continue to captivate the imagination of locals and visitors alike, stirring a deep sense of connection with the infinite universe above. Dry Creek's evolving identity, shaped by the convergence of science, art, and spirituality, embodies humanity's timeless quest to understand the unknown. Festivals celebrating light and life bring together musicians, poets, scientists, and shamans in a singular expression of shared wonder. The desert becomes a sanctuary where mystery and knowledge exist side by side, where every flicker of light reflects the curious, resilient spirit of those who dare to seek. As night embraces the desert once again, the phantom lights glide silently across the heavens, timeless, enchanting, and inviting. They remind all who witness them that mystery is not merely a challenge to be solved, but a gift to be treasured, an enduring spark illuminating the depths of human curiosity, connection, and hope. The desert night over Dry Creek holds its breath as the phantom lights continue their silent dance, a luminous thread weaving through decades of mystery, culture, and human experience. As we arrive at the 30th chapter of this mesmerizing saga, the focus turns toward the future, how the legacy of these otherworldly lights shapes a new generation and inspires an evolving narrative that blends hope, challenge, and endless curiosity. Among the bearers of this new dawn is Maya Thompson, an innovative educator and community organizer dedicated to empowering Dry Creek's youth to inherit the story with both critical thought and imaginative wonder. Maya's vision centers on integrating cutting-edge technology with traditional storytelling, creating educational programs that fuse scientific inquiry with cultural heritage. She believes the phantom lights are not merely phenomena to be studied, but gifts that awaken young minds to question, explore, and dream beyond the visible horizon. Maya's curriculum incorporates drone-based night sky observation, virtual reality reconstructions of past sightings, and collaborations with indigenous elders who share sacred knowledge of the desert's rhythms and mysteries. By bridging technology and tradition, her approach fosters a holistic understanding of the lights that honors the past, while equipping youth to contribute fresh insights and perspectives. This educational embrace reflects a community poised for renewal, one that values resilience, curiosity, and the sacred balance between skepticism and belief. Simultaneously, scientific advances continue to illuminate new facets of the phantom lights. An international consortium of physicists, atmospheric specialists, and cognitive scientists unveils sophisticated models explaining how atmospheric anomalies, geomagnetic pulses, and perhaps even collective human perception intertwine to create the dazzling displays witnessed for decades. These interdisciplinary efforts suggest the lights are not isolated events, but woven into the fabric of Earth's energetic environment and human consciousness, forming a dynamic interplay that challenges simple classification. Yet, even amid growing knowledge, the essential mystery perseveres, echoing the desert's timeless capacity for wonder. The light's erratic movements, spectral shifts, and sudden appearances defy complete explanation, ensuring that each new observation rekindles awe and invites further exploration. Local festivals and global conferences celebrate this paradox, fostering dialogues where science meets spirit, evidence meets imagination, and all participants become co-creators of meaning. Dry Creek itself thrives as a beacon for seekers of the extraordinary, an oasis of shared history, cultural vibrancy, and relentless curiosity. Its residents embody a living legacy shaped as much by the light's ethereal glow as by their collective journey through uncertainty toward understanding. The desert night, vast and star-studded, embraces their story, a tale woven from light, shadow, hope, and the eternal human impulse to gaze skyward in search of answers. As the phantom lights glide silently across the heavens, they illuminate not only the rugged terrain below, but also the boundless possibilities within every mind willing to explore the unknown. This story, rich with wonder and complexity, continues, inviting all who look up to dream, question, and connect across space and time. The story of Dry Creek's phantom lights, far from reaching its conclusion, continues to unfold as a testament to humanity's enduring curiosity and the mysteries that inspire it. In this 31st chapter, the focus turns inward, exploring how the lights have woven themselves into the very identity and daily life of the town's people, how memory and mystery shape community bonds and individual journeys. Emma Collins, a lifelong resident and local historian, reflects on the countless nights she spent beneath the vast desert sky, witnessing the lights flicker and dance, each display a silent storyteller that spoke to her fears, hopes, and dreams in ways words never could. Emma's dedication to preserving the narratives of Dry Creek's elders and newcomers alike has created a living archive, a bridge between generations bound by shared wonder. Her work reveals how the lights, while mysterious, also became a source of comfort, a symbol of resilience and connection in an often unpredictable world. The lights appear not just as distant celestial phenomena, but as intimate threads woven into family tales, personal milestones, and communal memory, shaping the rhythm of life in ways small and profound. Meanwhile, scientific explorations continue to deepen understanding even as they affirm the light's enigmatic nature. Collaborative research integrating geology, atmospheric science, quantum physics, and cognitive studies suggests the phantom lights might be manifestations of subtle, energetic interactions, complex exchanges between Earth's magnetic fields, charged atmospheric particles, and aspects of human perception intertwined on a scale science is only beginning to grasp. These findings emphasize the interdependence of observer and observed, matter and mind, phenomenon and interpretation, inviting a more holistic view where mystery is not erased by knowledge, but enriched by it. Dry Creek's cultural resurgence flourishes alongside these advances. Artisans, musicians, and storytellers draw inspiration from the lights, transforming them into symbols of hope, transformation, and the beauty of the unknown. Their creations, from luminous sculptures to evocative songs and immersive theater, invite audiences to experience the lights not only visually, but emotionally and spiritually. The town's annual Festival of Light grows as a celebration of this creative spirit, blending science talks, workshops, performances, and communal gatherings that renew bonds and kindle fresh curiosity. Yet, beneath all this bustle lies a calm recognition. The phantom lights are a reminder of life's fundamental tensions, the known and the unknown, certainty and wonder, isolation and connection. They challenge Dry Creek's people and visitors hard to live with questions as companions, to find joy in the journey rather than the destination. As night falls once more, the lights shimmer gently against the desert sky, timeless, beckoning, and alive, inviting all who behold them to look beyond what is seen and embrace the endless horizon of possibility that lies ahead. In the heart of the desert, Dry Creek stands as a silent witness to the phantom lights that have fascinated humanity for decades, shaping not only the night sky but the very soul of the community. This 32nd chapter explores the ripple effects of the lights far beyond the boundaries of Dry Creek, revealing their unforeseen impact on global discussions surrounding the nature of reality and human perception. Dr. Liam Archer, a cognitive neuroscientist captivated by the intersection of consciousness and unexplained phenomena, arrived in Dry Creek to immerse himself in the lived experiences of witnesses and researchers alike. Liam's work delves into how the human brain processes extraordinary events, how memory, expectation, and cultural context weave together to create perceptions that challenge conventional understanding. Through deep interviews and neuroimaging studies, he uncovers patterns showing how mystery shapes cognition, how wonder can alter brain activity, and how collective experiences influence both individual and societal belief systems. These insights shed light on the profound psychological dimensions embedded within the Phantom Light story, revealing that their significance extends beyond physical phenomena into the realms of meaning-making and identity formation. Simultaneously, international scientific collaborations leverage advanced technologies, such as hyperspectral imaging, quantum sensors, and AI-driven predictive models, to monitor and analyze the subtle energetic signatures associated with the lights. These interdisciplinary efforts produce data indicating that the phantom lights are not static anomalies, but dynamic phenomena influenced by a web of environmental, electromagnetic, and possibly extrasensory factors. Research suggests that the lights engage in complex feedback loops involving Earth's magnetic field, atmospheric ionization, and perhaps even human emotional states, creating a living dialogue between the desert and its observers. The scientific and psychological investigations converge to offer a more integrated understanding. The phantom lights are as much a phenomenon of perception and consciousness as they are a physical event, an embodiment of the profound interplay between external reality and inner experience. Across Dry Creek, this evolving comprehension revitalizes community life. Residents embrace this holistic view, fostering spaces where science, spirituality, and storytelling both exist in harmony. Schools integrate experiential learning that challenges students to explore both empirical inquiry and imaginative contemplation, encouraging a balanced cultivation of knowledge and wonder. Public festivals and private ceremonies intertwine, celebrating the lights as symbols of mystery and human resilience. Visitors from around the world come not only to witness the lights, but to participate in this vibrant culture of inquiry and connection. The phantom lights thus transcend simple categorization, becoming a metaphor for life's enduring enigmas. The interplay of light and shadow, seen and unseen, known and unknowable. They inspire a humble acknowledgement of our place within a vast, complex universe filled with questions that invite rather than demand answers. As the desert night deepens and the lights shimmer like ancient cosmic whispers, Dry Creek continues its journey, a luminous beacon guiding all who seek to understand not just the world around them, but the vast, mysterious universe within. Dry Creek's phantom lights persist as a mesmerizing enigma, not merely illuminating the vast desert sky, but casting reflections deep within the hearts of all who encounter their ghostly glow. In this 33rd chapter, the narrative delves into the entwined legacies of memory, science, and spirituality that have become inseparable from the lights themselves, exploring how they continue to shape human connection across generations and cultures. Among the most compelling figures in this unfolding story is Lila Martinez, a cultural anthropologist whose work focuses on how communities construct meaning around extraordinary events. Lila's immersive fieldwork in Dry Creek reveals how the lights have evolved into a living mythos, an ever-adapting narrative that embraces uncertainty and invites multiple interpretations. Her interviews capture voices spanning elders recounting ancestral tales, young activists advocating for environmental protection, scientists pushing the frontiers of knowledge, and artists weaving the lights into new expressions of human creativity. These narratives form a mosaic illustrating that the phantom lights are as much about human experience and shared storytelling as about any objective phenomenon. In parallel, advances in environmental physics continue to shed light on the complex conditions underpinning the light's appearance. Researchers collaborating internationally utilize ultra-sensitive sensors and machine learning algorithms to decode the electromagnetic and photonic signatures emitted during sightings. Findings suggest intricate interactions between charged particles, magnetic fields, and atmospheric conditions create transient light patterns that can mimic biological rhythms and adaptive behavior. Such discoveries challenge simplistic classifications, implying that the lights are dynamic phenomena living at the crossroads of physics, biology, and perhaps consciousness itself. The fusion of this scientific insight with cultural perspectives enriches Dry Creek's identity as a place where knowledge and mystery coexist, fueling creativity, inquiry, and reverence. Community-led initiatives amplify this spirit, with storytelling circles, art installations, and scientific workshops drawing participants into dialogues that cross academic and cultural boundaries. Dry Creek's annual Festival of Lights becomes a global gathering of minds and hearts united by a shared fascination and respect for the unknown. Amid this vibrant exchange, the phantom lights maintain their elusive dance, sometimes subtle flickers, barely discernible against the starry backdrop, other times brilliant cascades painting the horizon with colors that defy description. Each appearance rekindles a sense of wonder, reminding all who gaze upward that some mysteries are not puzzles to be solved, but gifts to be cherished. As night deepens over the desert, the lights shimmer, a luminous invitation to dream, to question, and to connect across time and space. Dry Creek stands as a beacon, its story a testament to humanity's endless capacity for awe, resilience, and the enduring search for meaning amidst the infinite cosmos. Dry Creek's phantom lights endure as a captivating mystery, a timeless spectacle beneath the desert heavens that continues to stir awe and speculation across decades. In this 34th chapter, the narrative expands to explore the profound ways the lights have inspired not only exploration and discovery, but a renewed sense of belonging and meaning within the community and beyond. Central to this exploration is the story of Jonah Rivera, a scientist-artist whose innovative work merges cutting-edge technology with visionary creativity. Driven by his own childhood experiences witnessing the lights, Jonah has developed immersive installations that translate the desert's electromagnetic symphony into mesmerizing visual and auditory experiences, allowing audiences worldwide to glimpse the enigmatic beauty otherwise hidden in the night sky. His work embodies the essence of Dry Creek's evolving identity, a fusion of science, art, and spiritual inquiry that transcends boundaries and invites participation in a shared wonder. Meanwhile, scientific investigations progress with the deployment of advanced multispectral arrays and deep learning systems designed to detect, analyze, and predict the light's occurrences with increasing accuracy. These efforts reveal correlations with solar flare activity, geomagnetic storms, and subtle shifts in atmospheric chemistry, suggesting that Earth's relationship with cosmic phenomena plays a critical role in the light's manifestations. Yet, despite growing data, the unpredictable nature of the lights preserves their magical allure, each appearance a unique performance that tantalizes researchers while inviting philosophical reflection on the limits of human understanding. The community of Dry Creek thrives in this fertile intersection of tradition and innovation. Educational initiatives integrate experiential learning with indigenous wisdom, encouraging curiosity anchored in respect and ecological mindfulness. The town's festivals have blossomed into rich celebrations of knowledge and mystery, blending storytelling, scientific dialogue, music, and dance into vibrant expressions of collective identity. Visitors from around the globe come not just to witness the lights, but to engage in the cultural and spiritual tapestry woven around them. At its core, the story of Dry Creek's phantom lights is a story of connection, in the interplay between sky and earth, past and future, individuality and community. It speaks to a universal human impulse to seek meaning in the unknown, to find beauty in mystery, and to forge bonds across the divides of time, culture, and perspective. As the desert night deepens and the lights once again shimmer against the vast cosmic canvas, Dry Creek stands illuminated, not just by celestial phenomena, but by the shining spirit of all who dare to dream, explore, and embrace the endless horizon of possibility. The desert sky over Dry Creek stretches vast and infinite as the phantom lights dance their eternal ballet, a mesmerizing phenomenon that has transcended mere spectacle to become a symbol of humanity's unending quest for meaning in the face of mystery. In this 35th and final chapter, the narrative turns inward to reflect on the profound journey of Dry Creek and its people, weaving together threads of memory, revelation, and hope that have unfolded over decades. Central to this conclusion is the voice of Nora Jensen, a visionary storyteller whose work captures the essence of the lights, not just as physical phenomena, but as living metaphors for transformation, connection, and the unknown. Nora's narratives blend poetry and prose, ancient lore and contemporary experience, inviting readers and listeners to engage with the lights as teachers guiding us toward deeper understanding of ourselves and our place in the cosmos. Her stories celebrate the resilience and creativity of Dry Creek's community, honoring the ways in which the lights have shaped individual lives and collective consciousness. Parallel to this poetic lens, scientific inquiry continues to illuminate the complex dance of energy, matter, and perception that gives rise to the phantom lights. Advances in quantum physics, atmospheric science, and cognitive neuroscience suggest that the lights represent a nexus where natural forces and human consciousness converge in ways that challenge conventional boundaries between observer and observed. This evolving science encourages humility and wonder, reminding us that some mysteries are not puzzles to be solved, but invitations to expand our perception and embrace the unknown with open hearts. The community of Dry Creek embodies this spirit through its vibrant cultural life, annual festivals, educational programs, and collaborative research initiatives that foster dialogue across disciplines and generations. The town has become a beacon for seekers of knowledge and meaning, a place where science and spirituality coexist in creative harmony, and where mystery is honored as a vital part of human experience. As the phantom lights shimmer silently above, their ethereal glow is joined by the human light below. The collective spark of curiosity, courage, and connection that defines Dry Creek's legacy. This story is more than about lights in the sky. It is about the luminous journey of discovery and wonder that continues to inspire all who gaze upward and dream. As the desert night folds into dawn, the phantom lights fade softly, leaving behind a lasting imprint on the land, the sky, and the hearts of those forever touched by their enigmatic glow, a testament to the endless beauty of mystery and the enduring human spirit that embraces it. The desert's vast silence holds secrets older than time itself, and in Dry Creek, those secrets flicker to life in the form of phantom lights, enigmatic, elusive, and unfathomably beautiful. Though the story has stretched through 35 chapters, each unveiling layers of mystery, science, and human resilience, the journey is far from over. In this 36th chapter, the narrative breathes anew, focusing on the transformative impact the lights have had on individuals and the subtle shifts in perception they inspire about the nature of reality itself. Jonah Alvarez, a young quantum physicist and skeptic-turned-seeker, arrives in Dry Creek burdened with questions and a scientific mind trained to dissect and explain. Yet, as he immerses himself in the phenomenon, he finds his understanding challenged not only by data, but by the profound testimonies and experiences of the town's inhabitants. Through the intersection of his rigorous research and the town's collective memory, Jonah embarks on a path of intellectual and spiritual awakening, discovering that some truths evading measurement are nevertheless deeply real. His investigations reveal patterns of entanglement, not just in quantum particles, but in the connections forged between people, place, and cosmic events. The phantom lights, it seems, act as a catalyst, an invitation to embrace the unknown with humility and wonder. Meanwhile, Dry Creek flourishes as a nexus where interdisciplinary collaboration thrives. The boundaries between science, art, and spirituality blur into fertile ground for innovation and insight. Festivals and workshops evolve into immersive experiences, blending laser light displays, indigenous ceremonies, and quantum theory demonstrations to engage visitors in the mystery on multiple sensory and intellectual levels. This fusion nurtures a vibrant community that celebrates not just what is known, but what remains wonderfully unknown. As the lights shimmer across the desert canvas, sometimes delicate whispers, other times vibrant symphonies, they embody the infinite dance between illumination and shadow, certainty and mystery. They call us beyond the confines of ordinary vision to see the world anew, to listen to the silent whispers of the cosmos, and to remember that in mystery lies the heartbeat of discovery. Dry Creek stands not merely as a location, but as a living symbol of humanity's enduring quest to explore and to connect and to find light even within the vast unknown. As another night descends, the phantom lights ignite once more, timeless and beckoning, a luminous invitation for all willing to look up, to dream, and to journey onward. Dry Creek's phantom lights continue to cast their enigmatic glow across the desert night, a phenomenon that has transcended mere spectacle to become a profound symbol of humanity's relentless pursuit of understanding and connection. In this 37th chapter, the story turns to the intertwining of personal transformation and collective discovery, delving into how the lights have not only illuminated the sky, but have also sparked profound shifts within the hearts and minds of those touched by their presence. Amelia Reyes, a neuroscientist fascinated by the interface between perception and reality, arrives in Dry Creek seeking to unravel how witnessing the lights affects human consciousness. Her research, blending brain imaging with immersive interviews, reveals that encounters with the lights often trigger heightened states of awareness, deep emotional resonance, and shifts in worldview. These experiences challenge strict scientific paradigms, suggesting that the lights engage not only external senses, but also inner dimensions of perception and meaning-making. Simultaneously, the community of Dry Creek embraces these insights, fostering spaces where science, spirituality, and art coalesce into holistic exploration. Local festivals that evolve to include meditation sessions, interactive science exhibits, and storytelling circles that invite participants to share their own journeys of wonder and inquiry. This integration nurtures a sense of belonging and profound interconnectedness, transforming the town into a sanctuary of shared curiosity and mutual respect. Technological advancements continue to shed light on the physical nature of the phenomenon, with hyperspectral imaging, quantum sensors, and machine learning revealing dynamic patterns of electromagnetic interaction modulated by environmental and possibly psychosocial factors. Yet, the light's inherent unpredictability preserves their mystery, inviting reflection on the limits of human knowledge and the beauty of questions without definitive answers. The desert, ancient and enduring, frames this intricate dance between light and shadow, science and spirit, certainty and amazement. Dry Creek stands illuminated not only by the phantom lights, but by the collective human spirit, resilient, curious, and ever-reaching toward the infinite horizons of understanding and wonder. As night descends and the lights shimmer softly against the vast cosmos, they beckon all who look up to embrace mystery as a source of growth, connection, and endless possibility, inviting each soul to join the timeless journey of discovery that defines us all. Dry Creek's phantom lights weave a tale both ancient and ever new, flickering across the desert sky as symbols of mystery, transformation, and the uncharted depths of human experience. In this 38th chapter, the narrative deepens its exploration of how the lights serve as a bridge, not only between science and spirit, but between past and future, individual and collective, Earth and cosmos. Among the vibrant threads of this story is the work of Sophia Nguyen, a visionary environmental philosopher who has dedicated herself to understanding the lights within the broader context of eco-consciousness and interdependence. Sophia's reflections reveal how the lights embody a profound dialogue between the desert's living landscape and the universe beyond, inviting humanity to reconsider its relationship with nature and the cosmos. Her writings inspire the Dry Creek community to engage in practices that honor this connection: restorative land stewardship, mindful presence, and collective rituals that celebrate the sacredness of mystery. At the same time, the scientific community continues to probe the light's elusive nature through groundbreaking interdisciplinary projects. Physicists, ecologists, and cognitive scientists unite, utilizing deep learning algorithms, atmospheric satellites, and neurophenomenological frameworks to map and interpret the multifaceted phenomenon. Their findings suggest that the lights may arise from complex feedback loops involving geomagnetic fluctuations, bioluminescent microorganisms, and subtle human energetic fields, a symphony of interactions that transcends traditional disciplinary boundaries. This integrative understanding reinforces Dry Creek's role as a living laboratory where knowledge and wonder coexist, and where mystery fuels rather than hinders discovery. The town itself embraces this evolving identity with grace and creativity. The annual festival has grown into a sprawling celebration of light in all its forms: scientific explorations, indigenous ceremonies, art installations, and communal gatherings, all interwoven into a luminous tapestry that celebrates the unknown. Visitors and residents alike partake in this shared experience, finding inspiration in the interplay of light and shadow, certainty and paradox. The phantom lights continue their silent dance, shimmering with renewed vibrancy and intricate patterns that captivate and humble observers. Each appearance reaffirms the allure of mystery as a source of beauty, insight, and connection, an invitation to explore beyond the limits of vision and embrace the vast unknown with open hearts. As night cloaks the desert and the ancient stars watch silently, Dry Creek and its phantom lights stand as luminous testaments to humanity's enduring quest. A journey marked not by final answers, but by endless exploration, wonder, and the glowing promise of discovery yet to come. The night air over Dry Creek grew cooler as stars began to pierce the velvet sky, but the desert held a restless energy, a quiet tension that had been building for years. That evening, a group of longtime residents gathered atop the ridge overlooking the valley, their faces lit by the soft glow of lanterns in anticipation. Among them was Samuel, a man whose childhood was shaped by tales of the phantom lights, whose own eyes had witnessed their eerie dance more times than he could count. Tonight was different. Tonight the lights appeared again, brighter and more vivid, painting the sky with colors that shifted and shimmered like living flames. They moved with deliberate precision, forming shapes that defied logic, circles within triangles, spirals that seemed to pulse in rhythm with the heartbeat of the earth itself. Whispers rippled through the crowd as old stories resurfaced, blending with new awe and wonder. Samuel felt a stirring deep within, as if the lights were speaking directly to the part of him that had longed for answers but learned to embrace mystery. The air hummed with energy, connecting past and present, earth and sky, science and spirit. In that moment, beneath the celestial spectacle, the fragile boundary between the known and the unknown seemed to dissolve, inviting all who watched to step beyond fear and into a shared realm of possibility and hope. The phantom lights over Dry Creek faded slowly into the first light of dawn, their last shimmering trails dissolving into the morning sky, leaving behind a silence filled not with answers, but with a deep, abiding sense of wonder. Through decades of mystery, fear, hope, and relentless searching, the lights had become more than just a phenomenon. They were a mirror reflecting humanity's unending quest to understand the unknown, a beacon guiding hearts toward connection, curiosity, and humility. In the end, it was not the solving of the mystery that mattered most, but the journey it inspired, the stories shared beneath the starry canopy, the bonds forged in awe and respect, and the courage to keep looking up when the night is darkest. Dry Creek stands as a living testament to this spirit, a place where light and shadow dance together, inviting all who dare to dream, question, and embrace the endless horizon of possibility that lies just beyond sight. The mystery remains, silently glowing in the desert sky, a timeless invitation to step into the unknown and find in it the luminous pulse of life itself.